2, 1, go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Theater Lab's first ever original online monologue festival. We have been working all week long to make this happen. We anticipated being live tonight on Facebook. Unfortunately, some of the technology we've been working with has been giving us a little bit of issue, and we were unable to provide you a live stream. But the good news is you can still watch right now. And the even better news is that you'll be able to pause the video at any point you like and really look at the performer that you want to support and find out exactly how to send your money to them. So let me just give you a little bit of background about what this is and why we did it. Just about 2 weeks ago, the COVID-19 crisis hit South Florida, and pretty much overnight, every single theater in South Florida closed their doors, obviously to keep the patrons and the public safe. But the effect of that was that all of our South Florida theater performing artists and theater artists unfortunately lost a lot of their immediate income, and not only did they lose immediate income, but future income. So I know personally some theater artists who have lost up to 6 months of contracts. And as I've explained in other videos, artists know how to budget for their feast and famine type industry. They know how to set aside money and to program contracts months out in advance and plan on that money. But when overnight you lose 6 months of income, that can be really painful. And then to make that worse, many of our performing artists in South Florida, they supplement their artistic income through jobs like the service industry or education or classes or things like that. And all of that has dried up too. So Theater Lab wanted to find a way to support these artists who are in need and do that immediately. We run two really fun programs at Theater Lab. One is called the Future Pages Project, which our Director of Education, Ms. Jill Carr, runs. And in that program, we teach creative writing workshops to partner schools and then bring those schools to see a play performed at Theater Lab. And then we ask the student to submit a story back to us based on the theme. So we knew we could do that. We could offer these online workshops in parts of a story and in original monologue writing. And we thought, well, how can we capitalize on that? So we got the community involved. We got them writing stories. We got them writing monologues. And then we got almost 100 submissions from the community after our online workshops. All those submissions came into us. We poured through them with a number of volunteer readers overnight on Friday night and distributed those monologues to some of South Florida's favorite performers on Saturday morning. We paired them with directors and with other artists, and they got to work through Zoom and Skype and FaceTime and all these other applications to rehearse and get their pieces ready for performance today, Sunday at 5 o'clock. So here we are. It's about 5:10 right now. We have decided to go live with our program. So you're watching a live show that's been recorded. It's like watching The Tonight Show or something like that, right? So we're going to get ready to share some of these amazing monologues with you. Now, Theater Lab's idea was to allow these artists to perform this original work, which is part of our mission: new work, new artists, new audiences. And to perform that work, and as the way that you can support these artists directly, many of them are going to hold up a sign. All of them are going to hold up a sign tonight. And on that sign, you're going to see their Venmo ID, their PayPal ID, and their Zelle ID. And so if you'd like to support these artists, you can send them money directly into their accounts. Now, all of that is direct patron to artist support. Theater Lab is not involved at all in the collection of those funds. We're not involved at all in the collection of any funds to be redistributed. So all of this money that you're sharing tonight goes directly to these artists and helps them right now. In addition, we're very, very happy South Florida Theater League has been able to set up an artist relief fund. So if you're somebody who wants to do both and you want to directly support these audiences tonight, these artists, sorry, tonight, and then you also want to share some funds with the South Florida Theater League, I encourage you to do that. They're going to be collecting those monies, and then they're going to set up an application process for artists and organizations to come to them to get some support based on the income and things that they lost during the COVID-19 crisis. So that's how this all started. And we chose the theme hope because we thought that during this time, it was important for us to spread a little hope. And I've been floored all week at how this project, I mean, we thought this up last Sunday. It was literally a week ago. And just the way we were able to pull this together, and all of the artists who were willing to come together to work alongside of us to help support this program, I've just been absolutely amazed at all of that. And I could not be more proud of our community. The amazing thing that happened for me was that in addition to all of these stories of hope that we were getting, we got all these submissions and we got all these artists coming together. I was also, yesterday, when I started to get emails and postings from all of the artists involved, I suddenly saw that we had done something that we hadn't even really set out to do, which was we had connected artists from all across South Florida, some of whom who had never even worked together before. And so I was getting all these pictures of people on Zoom chats and on Skype chats who had never met each other before. And just the amazing thing of that, to be able to help connect people during this time, for me was another benefit. And I can't wait for them to share their work with you. So we're gonna go ahead and get started tonight. So first up, we're going to start. Each artist is going to come on. They're going to show their Venmo ID. They're going to introduce themselves to you, and they're going to let you know who they're performing for or what's going on, and then they'll do their performance. So I'm going to get out of the way. I hate long curtain speeches. I love that you've all tuned into this, and I love that we can do what we can to help support these amazing people. So first up, I have joining me Mr. Alex Jorth. Please welcome to the screen, Mr. Alex Jorth. Hey, Alex. Oh, a backyard setting. Lovely. I love it. Go ahead, Alex. Take it away.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Matt. Thank you all so much for organizing this. I'm Alex Jorth. When the coronavirus struck us down here, I was in rehearsals, in tech rehearsals for How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying at the wonderful Mall Jupiter Theater. That got cut short at the end of our tech rehearsals, but hoping to postpone and remount it in the fall. So fingers crossed for that. But that is, 6 months away. And had another show this spring that got canceled as well. So also supplementing my work, as you mentioned, in the restaurant industry. So everything's kind of come to a screeching halt here for us. So thank you all so much for tuning in and supporting. The monologue I'm going to do is called Happy. It's written by Luis Herrera. And yeah, here we go. Happy. 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 Sorry, I was thinking about that word a lot and just how weird it is. And just like any other word, the more you say it, the less it sounds like a real word. Just sounds like some, I don't know, like a sound that people make without any definition, like a grunt or a sigh. I mean, those sounds do have meaning, obviously all sounds do, but they don't have like a spot in a dictionary, That's what the word happy feels like to me. Some grunt without a real concrete definition. And maybe that's my own messed up perspective, but I don't remember the last time I was happy. And the more I do to try to define that word for myself, the further away it seems to get. Like it's sprinting ahead of me as I barely catch up. It feels like everything is falling apart at the moment, and I can't seem to put the pieces back together. Sorry. That was a lot of stupid, self-deprecating, sad crap. Gotta stop that. Not what I was trying to do, not even close. No, what I was gonna do, what I meant to ask was, do you believe in magic? I'm talking about the kind of magic that is literally unexplainable. Magic that happens sometimes without anyone noticing. Things that happen in your life that for one reason or another you don't understand why. Like the connections between people, where they end up in the same place. A sort of way the universe connects you with certain people that you never thought you would see in a specific place you go to, or something like that. I don't know. It's dumb. I'm not making any sense. Stars. Sorry, I just thought of something that might help explain what I'm talking about. Stars. When I was little, like little, I thought that stars were magic. I used to think that people would catch fireflies, and then while holding them in their hands like this, they would go somewhere high up, as high as they could go, and then throw the firefly into the sky, which would turn that firefly into a star. I was a kid, don't judge me. But my point is that that was magic to me. And I feel that at some point we stopped believing in magic. And if we still had even a small percent of that kind of belief, then maybe, I don't know, maybe life would be a bit more bearable, and the word happy wouldn't feel like some completely foreign concept. Happy. Happy. Yeah, still weird. Happy. Thank you guys so much. Here's the info again.
Thank you, Alex. Wonderful job. I know you can't hear the applause, but they are deafening in the other homes across the region. So thank you so much. Let's now welcome to our screen Miss Courtney Poston. Miss Courtney, hey, Courtney, there you are. It's so good to see you. There's her info. And go ahead, take it away, Courtney.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Theater Lab, for organizing this very creative and fun outlet for us as we're going a little stir crazy in our homes. I, like many of the actors you're going to see tonight, was unfortunately in a place we didn't think we would be, without work. I had 2 jobs. One got postponed. I was also working with Alex Dorth at the Maltz as a dresser for How to Succeed. And I was also working as an assistant director for a school show that got completely canceled. And my other income is as a tour guide, which also got shut down. So here we are. But that leads me to this great opportunity. Again, I am Courtney Poston, and I will be performing Waitress in the Weeds by Miss Casey Dressler. Here we go. No, please don't leave. Please stay. Oh, let me explain. Listen, I am sorry I made you wait so long. God, I'm so sorry. I'm Jamie. I'm your server. It's been such a crazy night with it being Valentine's Day. Just please don't go. Let me make it up to you. Free champagne, free dessert. I am so sorry. I was told I had you guys, but at the time I was told I was right in the middle of running a credit card that had been declined. So I had to go back and ask for another form of payment, but they needed a minute. So I say, okay, take your time. And then I realized, oh my God, I have to sing happy birthday to table 17. I mean, who has a birthday on Valentine's Day? Anyway, nonetheless, I need singers, which in this restaurant is like asking for someone to give you an organ. So I run to the kitchen, I grab the birthday cake, and I bribe a couple of tone-deaf busboys, and I head back to the dining room. And then after singing a happy birthday solo with my lip-syncing busboys, the table whose card was declined now needs change for 100. So I go to the bar and I ask Dave, the bartender, to help me, but Dave, the bartender, can't find the key to the register. So we tear apart the entire bar and finally find it in the ice bin, but now the ice is contaminated, so we have to scoop it out. I grab more ice while Dave, the bartender, gets me change, and as soon as I'm back, I grab the money, I drop it off, I race full speed towards you guys when a lady waves me over, asking if I can take a picture. I say yes. And then the lady proceeds to hand me 4 different phones. And then one of the phones starts going off with a FaceTime call. So I hand it back to the lady and she answers it. She answers the call. So now I am standing there like an idiot, totally doing the pee-pee dance while I'm trying to make eye contact with you guys so I can mouth, I'll be right with you. But I end up making eye contact with some guy who's holding up his bread basket, pointing to it, doing the old, can you give me some more finger? So I take the pictures with the 47 cell phones and I grab the bread basket from the man and I get the rolls from the kitchen and I fly out of the double doors and slam into our maitre d', Vinnie Bob, who runs right into Lewis, who is pouring water at table 15. And thank God it was only water because Lewis spills the entire pitcher on the table, soaking the man at seat 2, who thankfully had a sense of humor about the thing and was wearing a lobster bib. So I help clean up the table and get the man and his wife some paper towels and new napkins and place settings, and I am just about to come to you when table 11 stops me, asking if they can sample 3 different kinds of white wine. So I go to the bar and I get the samples and I bring them back to the table and I wait for them to taste each one, only for them to say they want to order a bottle of white Zinfandel instead. White Zinfandel! Anyway, I serve the wine and now I am home free. I can finally come greet you. I am almost to your table when I look down and I notice chocolate mousse pie all over my apron. I can't greet you when I look like I have smeared turd all over me. So I run to the bathroom and I look in the mirror. Don't cry, Jamie. Don't cry. Stop crying, Jamie. But now I'm crying in the mirror. I am crying in the mirror and I can't stop. And each time I tell myself to stop, it just makes me cry harder. So now I am crying really hard. And honestly, it feels so good to cry. But I know I must stop crying because I know you are out here waiting for me. And thinking of this makes me cry even harder. So now I'm stuck in the bathroom, crying in the mirror, in the bathroom. And on the one hand, it makes me feel really good. And I don't want to leave because, well, it's been a really hard night, you know? And then on the other hand, though, I know I need to get it together. I need to get to you guys. I can't let you down. So I pull it together. I splash water on my face and I clean the moose pie from my apron and I put on some lipstick and, well, here I am. I did it. I finally made it. Oh, I never thought I would get here. Oh, but it feels so good to finally show up. So may I tell you about the specials? Great. Thank you all.
Awesome job, Courtney. Thank you. That's how you can support Courtney right there. Applause are coming across the screen. Next up, we have Miss Meredith Bartman. Meredith. Hey, Meredith. It's so good to see you. That's how you can support her. Meredith, take it away.
Hi, my name is Meredith Bartman. I am an actor and a dramaturg in South Florida. I have 2 upcoming gigs that are in limbo and another one that is definitely postponed. And my day job is in a theater, which is currently shut indefinitely. But today I'm very excited to be here. I will be doing a piece by Jimin Han. I encourage you to buy her book. It's called A Small Revolution. And this piece today is called College Acceptances in the Age of COVID-19. What if I don't get into my first choice college? Today is notification day. Did I say, what if I don't get into my first choice college? I meant my kid. What if my child doesn't get in? Calm down. Sit. Wait right here at the kitchen table. It was supposed to come out at 7 p.m. and now it's 7:10. What does this mean? The internet can crash, sure, but for 10 minutes, not likely. She's definitely crushed. She's probably crying. What do? I text her. I love you, Goosey. I call her Goosey. It'll be all right, no matter what. No answer. The dog is waiting in the hall outside her door. I can see her tail. Ugh. 7:40. I'm sure she got rejected. What a terrible word, rejected. Really, what can you do with a word like that? How did it even come into the language of college acceptances? What about turned down? Or not enough room? Or not our first choice, but we think you're great anyway? Rejected is for my job, when the boss says something isn't up to snuff. Rejected is permanent. Should I text her again? Walk right into her room? Hanging right here on the wall in the kitchen is a letter Goosey wrote me when she was in first grade. It says, "Dear Mom, hi, and can you write me back? And can you see the fairy house? Love, Goosey." There's a picture drawn in magic marker below it with a stick figure, with Mom written above it, a pumpkin with Mom written on it, a pink house with a green door with Mom written above the door, Mom written on the roof, Mom coming out of the chimney like a stream of smoke, and Dad in the blue striped sky above. 7:55. Still no sound. What do I do? Going all the way to the East Coast has been a dream of hers ever since her dad died. He was from there. She can wear her father's alma mater's sweatshirt like she's been doing all these years, even if she doesn't get in. When we were walking the dog, someone asked her if she went there, and she smiled her beautiful smile and said, "Someday." What do I do? If she got rejected, I'll write a letter myself and beg them to change their minds. They can add that to the 30 letters I've already sent them. I'll keep writing. Her dad used to say, "Who cares what college you go to? The dumbest president we've ever had went to my school." Easy for you to say, I told him. He just smiled at me. Same smile Goosey has. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. I don't want her to be sad. I don't want her to be sad. Wait, here it is. A text on my phone from her. "Are you there, Mom?" Yes, I text back. "Come out. Let's take the dog for a walk."
Thank you, Meredith. Great
Thank
job. That's how you can support Meredith, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, we have the fabulous Miss Caroline Dobson in the MFA program, currently at Florida Atlantic University. Caroline is joining us on screen. Hi, Caroline. Tell us who you're here to support.
Hi. Hold on.
All right, it seems like Caroline has accidentally muted herself, so we're going to try that again. Caroline, go ahead and give us the unmute there. There we go.
Am I good?
There you go. Go ahead. Tell us again. Yes. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Caroline Dobson, and today I'm raising funds for Nicole Perry. This is her Zelle and PayPal information. She is an intimacy choreographer in South Florida. Today, I will be performing a piece called College FaceTime Call, written by Deanna Gamboa. Well, to be honest, I love being home. Like, it is so freeing. Finally, I'm in charge of my own schedule. I wake up or I don't. I eat or I don't. I work out or I don't. I take a shower or, of course, I take one every day. Ha, you thought. Nah, but hey, I guess it doesn't really matter, because how would you or anyone else know from behind their screens? What the hell? To take a shower or not to shower? Who cares? Anyways, I just really feel that I have the right mindset while the rest of the world is going to like absolute shit. Maybe Buddha had it right all along. Separation is the way to go. I mean, I have gotten so many things done that I've put on the back burner for so long. Like moving out of my studio apartment and in with my parents is probably the smartest financial decision I have ever made. I am saving hella bank. And think about all the expenses when you live alone. There's rent and food and all of the other essentials that you can get for free at your parents' house. And I mean, gas, sure, it's dirt cheap, but what's the point? Where are we gonna go? But hey, get that shit now while you still can. You know what I have accomplished in a week? Look, I don't mean to brag, but I moved out of my studio and remodeled. I remodeled my entire bedroom. Yeah. Look, I just feel so motivated and energized, you know? Hey, and don't tell me that you've been a couch potato. Look, come on, just look at the bright side. Sure, we still have school Monday, and it's totally bogus that we have to do it online, but we can still sleep in. Wait, what? 8:30 a.m.? What? We can never get a break. How can they do this to us? There is a pandemic going on. Man, I was really getting used to this free lifestyle. Well, I gotta go. I'll talk to you later, Kat. Thank you so much. My name is Caroline Dobson, and I'm raising funds for Nicole Perry.
Thank you, Caroline. Great job. All right, we're moving on to Miss Bev Blanchette, Miss Beverly Blanchette. Hello, Beverly. And as you can see, Beverly's helping out another artist. Bev, why don't you tell us all about it?
Yeah, I'm Beverly Blanchette, and I'm representing Alexandria Thomas. She's a South Florida actress, singer, writer, and just 3 months ago, she moved to New York, and so she could really use our help. I was recently playing Helen in Helen on Wheels at Empire Stage. We opened one weekend and closed the next, so there were 3 weekends of shows we didn't get to do. But I'm doing this for Alexandria. This is a monologue by Bruce Karp called The Essentials of Life. Mom! Mom! You're asleep. I feel so bad I can't go in. The virus and all. How can you understand what's happening? It's been a tough couple of weeks, worrying about the state of the world and the state of Florida. I've been spending my days trying to find the essentials of life: toilet paper, paper towels, wipes. Oh, there are household chores I could do, but how many times can I vacuum the rug and do the laundry? I can't afford Netflix, and I've gained 5 pounds. This isn't what retirement was supposed to be like, Mom. I retired so I could take care of you. That's another essential I'm missing: human contact. I haven't been able to see my friends, and I miss holding your hand and brushing your hair, and most importantly, having a conversation with you. When you came here, you hoped, no, you expected to get back home. But the dementia got worse, and we can't even talk on the phone anymore. But hope springs eternal, right? Funny story. I was at Publix earlier today, the daily toilet paper search. But today was different. They had some. Luckily, no one else was around for a tug of war over the last package. But my heart sank when I noticed the brand, Quilted Northern. You were adamant that I never spend a dime on any product made by the dreaded Koch brothers. You even sent me a list of all the companies they owned. So would I sacrifice my principles to avoid a hygienic crisis? Well, I looked down the aisle and I saw one remaining package of Publix brand paper, and suddenly competition appeared. An elderly woman turning around the corner, and she was eyeing my package. So full speed ahead, I ran around the Publix guy, grabbed the golden package, and ran like hell. That woman never knew what hit her. All right, that sounds awfully selfish. But I needed to have something go right. I needed some small victory. Here I am blabbing, and you can't even Mom! Mom, you're awake. Hi. And you're waving at me. Come close to the window, Mom. I love you too. And remember, hope springs eternal. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Bev. Woo!
you.
And there's Alexandria's info again. If you want to help out Alexandria, she did a lot of work for us at Theater Lab as an intern. So thank you so much for supporting her, Bev. Next up, we have Mr. Robert Fritz. Robert Fritz. So there's his info. Where's his face?
Hey! Hi, my name is Robert Fritz. I'm an actor and a teaching artist. I was involved in Miami Motel Stories, which ended prematurely, and I had another big gig coming up that also ended before it started, and teaching opportunities and other things that have really knocked off a lot of the income that we rely on. So that's why we're all here today, and the piece that I'm doing is called There's Hope There by Eric O'Keefe. Hey, Dad. It's me, Eric. I know you can't answer the phone right now, but I'm still calling anyway. It's better than doing nothing, you know? I talked to your nurse this morning. She says you're fighting hard. And I believe it because you're like Chuck Norris, Dad. Indestructible. I could hear the machines beeping in your hospital room behind you, so it's like I was there with you. Well, it's actually kind of ironic because you would never be able to sleep through that horrible humming and that piercing beeping noise that keeps reminding me that you're not at home where you're supposed to be and you're stuck there. But you're alive. So there's hope there. We've been here before, Dad. They gave you 2 months to live because of the cancer. Remember that? Well, I have to say that the last 4 years have been the longest 2 months of my life. They were wrong. They didn't know you, Dad. They didn't know that you were Superman. You beat the crap out of that, Dad. So there's hope there. Anyway, did you know that on average, you take between 12 and 20 breaths per minute? That's what I read online today while I was sitting outside the hospital in my car, just to be a little closer to you. Of course, since they won't let us in to see you still, I sat there, I tried counting my breaths. 14. I tried again. Deep breath in, deep breath out. It's not working, Dad. It's not working because I am sitting here out alone in my car and you are there in some cold hospital room with a machine breathing for you, and it feels like each breath I take is harder and harder to do. But the nurse said you were fighting hard. And I believe it because I'm praying hard. And there's hope there. So I guess I'm just calling you because you're going to be okay, Dad. But I'm scared. I keep taking deep breaths and I never will take that for granted again. So scared. But it's going to be okay because you taught me what it is to be brave. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Keep fighting, Dad. I love you. And I know there's hope there.
Great job, Robert. Thank you so much. Beautiful. That's how you can support Robert right there. Thanks so much. Now I want to welcome to the stage Miss Gretchen Porro. Please join us on the stage, Miss Gretchen Porro. There you can see who Miss Gretchen Porro is helping out. Gretchen, what's going on?
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I am doing this reading for Nicole Perry. She's an intimacy director and a choreographer, and she was just starting to launch her intimacy directing career this year. Nicole, thank you for keeping us safe in the rehearsal room and on stage, and this one's for you. I am doing an original piece by my dear friend, Janine Gangloff-Levy. You know how much I love you. We've been married for 6 wonderful years, but everything going on in the world, I've really had to think hard about where it is I'm going in life. I want a divorce. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, there's really no way that's easy to say this. I found my soulmate. I'm officially in love with Andrew Cuomo. Yes, Governor Andrew Cuomo. Baby, I never expected that to happen. I mean, yeah, like most New Yorkers, I voted for him 3 times, but he was just another politician. Granted, a Catholic politician who talks adorably at length about his elderly mother, Matilda. I mean, oh my God. I knew I was in trouble when Andrew announced bluntly that he would order all people to stay home. I take full responsibility, he said. Let me say that again. I take full responsibility. I cannot remember the last time you or any man said that to me. It was the most erotic moment of my life. From then on, I found myself giggling at the TV, and I was flirtatiously touching my face and my hair, only to then obsessively wash my hands. I couldn't eat. I felt achy. I felt like someone took it right out of me. I was either falling in love or coming down with the coronavirus. And if you're being honest with yourself, you know our marriage had problems. I always felt this enormous pressure to be perfect, filling my Instagram feeds with pictures of homemade lasagna and soul cycling. I was downright exhausted trying to be someone that I wasn't. But I feel like the real me as I tune into his 11 a.m. briefings in my daytime pajamas. Oh, the way he briefs me. He briefs me the way I have longed to be briefed. Imagine him and his briefs. Oh, I get so politically activated. He keeps me safe, and I crave his bullying like a captive hostage lusting after my kidnapper. Oh, and now I have these very politically activated fantasies that I can't shake. I fantasize about his future presidential campaign, converting our studio apartment into a makeshift sweat stop as I sit there braless, turning out buttons and stickers and t-shirts with his name on it. I host virtual fundraisers and even get Sir Elton John on board singing "I'm Still Standing" from his living room in London as a testament to New Yorkers' resilience in the coronavirus and my Andy's leadership. Cuomo, 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 Cuomo for president of the world! I love my Andy, and I want him to govern me. Govern me, Andy! Every day that passes in quarantine, I am one step closer to working up the courage to DM Andy and ask him out in a virtual happy hour on Zoom. Oh, I can imagine how hard this is for you to hear, but my love for Andy gives me hope. So, I have packed up your things. I have carefully sanitized them with Lysol wipes. Now, social distancing will be our best option at this point, and I'm going to have to ask you to please move exactly 6 feet away. Can I have a virtual hug? Thank you.
Thank you, Gretchen. Wonderful job. Awesome. Thank you so much. Remember, Gretchen's raising money for Nicole Perry, so take a look at those IDs. Next up onto the stage, we are going to welcome Mr. Michael McKenzie. Michael McKenzie. Hello, Michael. How are you doing? Tell us who you're here to raise money for.
Hi, I'm Michael McKenzie. I am supporting the South Florida Theater League Relief Fund. I was in rehearsal for The Price at Gable Stage, unfortunately, when all this hit. And like everybody else here, I'm hoping you can send some money to help get these theaters back on their feet. I'm doing a monologue called Shelter in Place. It's a piece by Robert Goodrich. Greetings, fellow patriots. I'm addressing you from 30 feet below the Earth's surface in a hermetically sealed shelter we have dubbed the Purity Bunker. 2 days ago, 20 souls descended into this underground dwelling to escape the vile pathogen that is spreading its pestilence across the entire planet. A pathogen, I might add, that is totally man-made and cooked up in a lab in Finland by the Rothschilds and the Masonic Order. To learn more about this, just click on the link below. It is our intention to stay down here as long as it takes. We have enough supplies to last us for years, and we're only coming out after all this blows over. We have been preparing for this moment all our lives. And if you think for 1 minute we are not fully committed to protecting this abode from intruders, you are sorely mistaken. We don't mean anyone any harm, but if anybody tries to get in here or take any of our shit, we'll blow your goddamn heads off. Peace. Signing off for now. Greetings. Here we are at day 7 here in the Purity Bunker, and things are going pretty well. Truth to be told, I don't think any of us fully appreciated what it was going to be like cramming 20 people into 1,400 square foot space. There's no privacy, and we majorly underestimated the size of the septic system required for this amount of people, so it smells like butthole down here 24/7. Kids are bouncing off the walls and driving everybody nuts. We brought a bunch of board games, but none of them want to play them. All they want to do all day is play their Nintendo and watch Frozen on DVD for the billionth time. I mean, it's a good movie, but Jesus. And we're all out of Doritos. 1 week in, and we're all out. We don't know who it was or who was involved, but they're gone. Unbelievable. We also had to eject one of the older boys because he had a cough and we didn't want to take any chances. He's staying with some friends, so he's okay. Some of us think he might have been faking it. But overall, our spirits remain high and our commitment strong. Strength over and out. Okay. Day 14, and everything has gone to shit. Yesterday, there was an argument over whether the Dune saga is fantasy or science fiction, which resulted in one member barricading himself in the galley and threatening to dunk his balls into one of the bags of rice and not telling us which one until we apologized. Which is bullshit, because it's fantasy, right? I can't tell you how much things have fallen apart down here. I've been stabbed 3 times in my sleep by different people. And without any windows, you can never tell what time it is. The clocks on the wall may say 4 o'clock, but you don't know, is it 4 o'clock in the afternoon or 4 o'clock in the morning? Sometimes you think, maybe it's both. I'm telling you, it's zapping our brains. I gotta go. Somebody's coming. Hi, everybody. Things are a lot quieter today. Thank you all for your concern after my post last week. That was Crazy, huh? But we're doing better. Extra special thanks to John and Carol, our neighbors from down the street, who brought a delicious casserole and a fresh salad and left it by the hatch. And we promised to go easy with the Doritos this time. And to Dylan, who dropped off a copy of Frozen 2 and a case of AA batteries. Thank you, brother. I miss you all. I can't believe how hard it's been being separated from everyone out there. I could not have imagined how much I would miss simple human interaction. How I miss the bullshitting with the people at work, or being told to enter my PIN by the girl in the supermarket, nodding at a stranger, or honking at a car that cuts me off in traffic. I even miss people I don't like. I can't wait till this is all over. But it looks like the numbers are finally starting to slow down. They say another month, maybe, so maybe soon. I hope.
Thank you, Michael. Great work. Thank you. Remember, support the South Florida Theater League Relief Fund. Thank you so much, Michael. Next up to the stage, Miss Jordan Patriarca. Jordan, join me. There's Jordan's info. Thank you so much, Jordan. Go ahead and tell the people what's going on.
Hello, I'm Jordan, and I was just days away from opening a show at Thinking Cap Theater called Fefu and Her Friends, and I can only hope that it's only been postponed, and hopefully our season can be salvaged at some point. And when I'm not acting, I play a cocktail waitress, so of course the tipped funds are low as well. Today, so thank you for this, by the way. Today I will be reading, I will be performing a monologue from Wayward, written by Marsha Bradley. And thank you. Most who know us are not prepared for this moment, unless they have been through what each of us here have experienced. Although, that is too trite a word, don't you think? Experience? It's such a word of relegation. What was your experience, we are asked? As if it's in one of those pre-wrapped gift boxes only people on TV are ever given. You know the ones where the lid is garnished with shiny paper and a big bow. No, that doesn't work for us. Our experiences cannot be relegated to a box or put away for later. No box can hold them. It's like those who praise our recovery, who tell us that we are strong and brave. Even worse, those who tell us they can't believe what we've been through. Don't you want to yell at those people? Undress your calm, I'm so okay self and scream? I know you want to yell. I see that facade of acquiescence on your face, that tiny smile, which I too carry in my armory. It is on my face when people don't believe what I've shared with them. The ones who say, it couldn't have been that bad, could it? Who want to ask, did that really happen? Are you sure? Maybe you're just being dramatic. Oh, that's the one that does me in. Don't accuse me of being dramatic. I know what we want to say to them, to such well-meaning folks, and I won't name names here or blame any group of people, although I could. I see you all in front of me today. We share an understanding they don't have. Our experiences flow within our blood daily. I say this in the same way my father used to howl his truth in my face, his finger jabbing at me, his arm poised to attack, his words a double dare should I think to defy him. Our experiences are the circuitry in which we are wired. And despite whatever abuse was delivered onto us before, this is now our power. You already know this. You don't need me to tell you. So, take me as your call to arms. Remember, our swords carry our truth. Within our swords are the words that will begin today. The words we've hidden for too long. The words that are our strength. The words that give us hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan. Wonderful work. And this is where you can support Jordan, everybody. Take a look at that right there. Next up, we have Mr. Saeed Pabon. Saeed, can you join me on the stage, please? There he is. Hello, Saeed. Take it away.
This opportunity for us to be here and doing our art, doing this thing that we love. I, like most of my fellow colleagues, was in the middle of a production. Actually, we had opened and closed Urinetown at PP Topa. Same day, one show, one chance. And then I was told by two different companies that the next two shows I was going to do were to be postponed or canceled. So everything's kind of up in the air, and just like all of my other friends in this industry, delivery services or groceries, and I am also doing voiceover and dubbing work. So that is also a monologue called The Changeover, written by Alex Stewart. Well, that was quick. 20 minutes, and what was the score? 6-1? Avoided the bagel, at least. What am I doing out there? From the very first ball, I got down low to return the serve, pulled the racket back, and bam! Straight into the net. Did I even move my feet? Was I even looking at the ball? And that last point, he picked on my backhand for like the 100th time. Shows he did his homework because it worked again. Pop! Bounced off the frame and up so high it might have flown out of this ridiculously oversized stadium, but it didn't. That would have been impressive. The stadium is really big. Can they even see me from up there? God, not an empty seat in sight. They aren't here to see me, that's for sure. On one side of the net is one of the greatest players of all time, and on the other side, me. Who's this other guy? They're probably wondering. Poor guy's in over his head. Take it easy. It's just another tennis match. It just so happens to be the biggest tennis match of my career. Taking to the court for the warm-up, I felt my nerves welling up in my stomach and in my throat. Maybe they'd been there all day, but I hadn't noticed. But they're certainly there now. What a sport, tennis. Where else are you forced to warm up your own enemy face-to-face in front of thousands? Just some friendly ground strokes with the guy who's going to destroy me. I may as well be waving my red cape, taunting the bull to impale me in front of these bloodthirsty fans. Oh, man, I'm tensing up now. Can't let that happen. I gotta stay loose. These people are here for a show. They expect a show. I've got to give them one, even if I barely win another point, let alone a game or a set. Oh, 6-1 in 20 minutes. Pathetic. How did I get here? What right do I have got to be playing on this stage at such an important tournament? Oh, come on. You got to start moving your feet. Get back to the basics. Suddenly, I remember my dad's voice during all those early morning practice sessions when I was a kid. Quick steps, easy swings, big targets, fundamentals. Every morning, we'd walk to the local park with a bucket of balls and our high hopes. Forehands, backhands, volleys, and serves. 2 hours a day in the heat of the Florida sun. Grueling, but fun. For years, practicing, traveling to little tournaments around the state, competing, winning. Right. This is not new. Only bigger. Just because I'm not a world-famous crazy rich athlete doesn't mean I don't know how to move my damn feet and hit a tennis ball.
I got here by winning all of my matches so far. Same as my opponent. That's all he is. My opponent. We're the same. In fact, wasn't he down a couple of sets in his last match? An impressive comeback, yes, but he's got to be a little tired from that. I feel like I could run for days. I should try to keep him moving. Hey, he's been coming into the net so much, too much. So I need to be ready for the ball to come back quickly and adjust those feet to take advantage of any weak approaches. Maybe try a lob or two and... Time's up. The second set's about to start. We take our places at opposite ends of the court again. May as well be what, 32 paces? Our rackets are pistol, and I'm ready to draw. After this duel, only one of us will be left standing to play for that trophy. God, I want that trophy. Don't get ahead of yourself. Gotta turn this match around. This moment is all that counts. This point. This first strike. Dad's voice again. Move your feet. Keep your eye on the ball. Trust yourself. My voice now. I can do this. I can win. Ready? Play. Thank you so much.
Great work. Thank you so much. Show us that sign one more time. Thank you so much. Please welcome to the screen, Miss Sandy Stock. Sandy, are you here with us? There she is. Hey,
Hello.
Sandy. Take it away.
Hello. Hi, I'm Sandy Stock. I, like all my wonderful friends and colleagues, have been affected by the coronavirus by losing 3 contracts back to back through the early summer. So that's really painful. So thank you for your support, and also for supporting the South Florida Theater League Fund, as well as the individual artists here today. I will be performing Scout Kill by Elizabeth Price. I know you hope I don't kill you, but I gotta do this. I gotta grow up enough to do this. See, I've never actually done this before. Killed. I mean, I've pretended, but usually I just watch. My sister, my older sister, is the one who always does it. She's amazing at it. She's not my real sister. I don't think she likes me very much, but I admire her. She knows how to look out for our mom. She knows how to show her that she loves her. And now I've got a chance to do that. Because things have really changed. Everything's different. My mom really sees me now. She used to just pay attention to me when she felt like it, but now she's never too busy. She's there. She's really there all the time, loving me. Which is why I gotta do this for her. Killing you for her will show her how much I love her. That I'm as good as my sister. It'll prove my love. But I didn't think it would feel like this. I didn't think I'd have to see you look so scared, so helpless. Wait. Listen. I hear dinner. Yes, yes, that is definitely the sound of kibble being poured into a bowl. I gotta go. I gotta let you go. I don't want to mangle my first kill. Kind of liked you anyway. I'll just jump up on my mom's keyboard again. She definitely knows I love her when I do that. Let's not run into each other again. Enjoy this time, little guy. It's special. I hope it never ends. Thank you.
Great job, Sandy. That was perfect. Thank you so much for that wonderful performance. Up next, welcome to the stage, Miss Kimmy Johnson. Kimmy Johnson. And there's Kimmy's information. Take it away, Kimmy.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kimmy. I'm an actor and teaching artist here in South Florida. We were ready to head into tech for a little night music at Zoetic Stage when we found out we were postponed. And following that, Pippin, A Measure for Measure Theater was also canceled. So during times of this uncertainty, thank you for tuning in to the arts. Thank you, Theater Lab, and thank you for your support. Today, I'm going to be performing a piece entitled Melinda Unhinged, and it was written by Isabella Orber. Hello, everybody. Can I just, yep. Hi. Yeah, speeches aren't over yet. Okay, thank you. Sister of the bride here. I have things to say as well. So, I know a lot of you were upset when you found out Lydia was getting married. Because she is such a catch. Lucky you, Jared. You got her. Well, you all had your chance, fellas, for so long. She has been jumping from guy to guy for so long. So honestly, you all had a really big window of opportunity to get in there. But anyways, I always hoped Lydia would find a guy like Jared. Maybe not literally Jared, since, you know, Jared and I were a bit of a thing for a while. We never labeled it. We weren't into labels. But I guess now you are into labels, Jared. Kind of the ultimate label. Married to my sister. Wow. Anyway, anyone who knows my sister knows she's beautiful and talented. And okay, let's admit it, competitive. Come on, Gran, you can laugh. Remember when she pulled that chair out from under you when you were about to win Scrabble at the beach house? 2 hip replacements later, am I right? Lydia is competitive by nature, maybe, by possibly no fault of her own. I mean, Mom, Dad, you kind of fueled the fire. Growing up, my parents always put us in the same sports and classes and music lessons. For example, when I was 9, I really wanted to do ballet. So, you guessed it, Lydia joined my class as well. And then, after only a month, gets the role of Marie in the professional tour of the Nutcracker, which is unbelievable, right? Like, how is that even possible? I'm kidding, Lydia. Your fouettes were impeccable, and no matter what anyone says behind your back, I think we can all agree on that. All jokes aside, I'm as happy as I can possibly be for you as you embark on this new chapter of your life. And even though you chose Alicia as your maid of honor instead of me, your flesh and blood, what most people could only describe as one of the most shameful sibling betrayals of all time, I'm hopeful we can turn this shockingly awful pile of garbage relationship around and start something new for us as well. Because it can't get any more uncomfortable than this. To Jared and Lydia. Thank you.
Cheers, Kimmy. Thank you. Wonderful job, everybody. That's Kimmy's info. Welcome to the stage, Miss Crystal Millie Valdez. Crystal Millie Valdez, and there's her info. Hello, Crystal. Take it away.
Hello. Crystal here. I've been affected like everybody else. All my jobs are uncertain. I've lost a couple of gigs. I was getting very excited to start working on Water by the Spoonful. So that's going to be for next year, this time. So I'll be doing a monologue. I get to do what I love. Thank you, Theater Lab. So I'm going to be doing a monologue called Michael's Boy Girl Party by Ariana Rose. Oh, he does so like me. He does. Oh yeah, you don't know anything. I went to Michael's Boy Girl Party last night. I bet you didn't know that. Yes, he asked me. Well, Kate and I went, and what did I wear? Those faded jeans with the Rolling Stones patch, and that sweater, like the gray one. Okay, it's your sweater, but you said I could borrow it. Yes, you did. Oh my God. Okay, I'll wash it. Anyway. Yes, Mom knew I was going. You were too busy making out with Eric in the basement to know. I do not have a crush on Eric. Ew. Well, I like Michael. You know that. Why are you being so mean? Fine. You know what? I won't tell you about the party. No, forget it. Wait, what? Well, you'll give me the ruby ring if I... Well, for keeps? Well, cross your heart and hope to die. Well, you have to swear you won't tell anybody. Anybody! Not Mom, not Eric, not... It was downstairs at his house, and he's got one of those, like, semi-level ones in Levittown by the pool. Yeah, his parents were upstairs, but they left us alone, and it was fun. Oh, we played Twister, and then Michael turned down the lights, and he said, "Time for spin the bottle." Shut up! I had kissed him. Well, I hadn't, but I didn't till... Will you let me tell the story? Like, everybody got in a circle, and Kate was the first one to spin, and it landed on Weird George. And everybody said, ew. It was my turn, and the bottle spins and spins, and I'm praying, please, oh please land on Michael, and it does. It does. Everyone in the room goes, ooh. And he crawls over to where it's sitting, and right in front of everybody, he whispers in my ear, I was hoping. Yes, I'm sure. I'm not dreaming. Well, I'm still telling you the truth. Look, if you shut up, I can... Like, I didn't say anything stupid for once, and I didn't smell, and my hair wasn't frizzy, and I was wearing my favorite sweater. Your sweater. And he kisses me, and it's perfect. He's perfect. It's soft and... What? No, he didn't use tongue. Gross. Like, what? I don't know. I don't know. But when Kate and I left, he took me by the bushes and he kissed me again. 2 kisses in one night. And he held my hand. Oh, this one. Look, Michael likes me, okay, Anna? He likes me. Now, give me the ring or I'm going to tell Mom that you slept over Eric's instead of what you really said, which was sleeping over Cheryl's. Hand it over. Thank you.
Thank you, Crystal. Great job. Show us that sign again. There's Crystal, everybody. All right. Very good. Welcome to the stage, please, Mr. Clay Cartland. Clay, there's Clay's info. You can see it right there. If you're wanting to help Clay out, Clay, take it away.
Thank you so much, Matt. I'm so happy to be here today. I'm kidding. I'm not really Batman.
I knew it.
Sorry. I was in here a long time. Hi, guys. My name is Clay Cartland. When Corona hit, I was actually in the 3rd week of a contract actors playhouse, the first contract of 2 shows that I was going to do there. And I'm supposed to do something in the summer, but it's a big maybe at this point. So I just really want to thank Matt and the Theater Lab for helping all of us out. From someone who's heartless, you guys, actually made me well up. Hi, Spock. Can you move, please? Can you move? You're handsomer than me. Thank you. My dog says hey. So this piece is called Greg, and it's by Luis Herrera. She hasn't left yet. No. I have literally explained to her the basics of the multiverse theory, told her of my love for breakfast foods, how my favorite movie isn't even from the last 10 years, and she's still here. No sneezing, no insecurity, no hatred of the food of champions, and she's still here, and for once, I don't anticipate a date leaving. Okay. Okay, so there are about two possibilities here. Possibilities for the future, I mean. And yes, I am thinking about the future. I've never been so pleasantly surprised by someone. Possibility one, we go on a few more dates. She realizes that I'm too interesting for her and that she could never measure up, but decides that she should stay with me because she'll never find anyone else like me. Not in this universe, at least. And then, after a while, things get stale on both ends because she is always afraid to say anything out of fear that it won't be interesting enough for me. And she enjoys everything I enjoy, but she just isn't intellectually stimulating. And we become complacent and boring, living a life in absolute, discreet misery. Possibility number two, we fall in love. And I don't mean that dumb puppy kind of love. I mean the kind of love that is real love. The kind of love that you only hear about in Fred Astaire songs or Nicholas Sparks films. We make each other laugh every day. The laughter grows as time goes by. She listens when I talk, and I can't look away when she decides to open her soft, beautiful lips to caress my ears with her intelligence, and her delicate hands caressing my armpits. I'm an armpit guy. It gets me going. Oh, we buy a townhouse. 2 beagles from the pound, rescues, of course, adopt so as not to ruin her figure. Her decision, not mine. Oh, our kids grow up and start living lives of their own as we hold hands through it all, our love never wavering. I mean, maybe this is the girl I've been looking for my entire life. Maybe this girl isn't even from this universe, but instead she found her way here to be with me. And somewhere else, there's another lonely Gregory Walters wondering where his dream girl is, the perfect woman for him. We'll grow old together. Her skin always smooth and pristine, like some kind of dolphin. I think I'm getting ahead of myself. Would you like to dance? Thank you, everybody.
Fantastic job, Clay. Hold those signs up again. Thank you so much, Clay. That was really wonderful work. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Miss Amy Coker to the stage for me. Let's hear those applause for Amy Coker. Where did she go? Ta-da!
Hi, my name is Amy Coker. I, like everyone, have been affected by what's going on in our world right now. I was in the middle of a show called Miami Motel Stories with Juggernaut Theater Company that had to be closed prematurely. So that was very sad. And my day job also, unfortunately, had to lay me off. So that's where I'm at right now. But I'm very happy to be here today performing a monologue by Andy Arthur entitled Hope Makes Fluorescent Lights Moonlight. Why is it that I look so great in the mirror and so awful on Zoom? Couldn't the universe just do me this solid for once? Hi. Hi. Yeah, I just said hi a lot, like 5 to 6 times. It's good to see you. I was so excited when you messaged me on Facebook and asked if we could chat. We haven't talked in years, we haven't talked in years. Oh my goodness, your dog is so cute. So, I've moved out of my parents' house. I mean, we all did, I suppose. College does that. Though I guess I shouldn't assume that everyone went to college because that's a bad assumption. Basically, cut off all social media with people from high school because, yeah. Anyways, I live in Miami now. It's exciting. The water is so blue in the bay, and I've seen manatees, like actual manatees. They mostly look like giant rocks floating in the water, but they're really cool, and it's warm. I remember you used to talk about how you wanted to bask in the sun every time I do it. Admittedly, I don't go to the beach often enough, and my mom rails at me about that. Yeah, I'm talking to her again. That's actually why I was so glad you reached out to me, because I don't want to be that girl, you know, the one who endlessly goes over the past, but I think about that night a lot. Our fake prom that we had for theater kids, because we decided that we were too much for the regular high school and needed our own prom. Yeah, what absolute snobs we were. We thought we were retaliating against the system, but really, snobs, all of us. Snobs that happen to sing Les Mis and Wicked, but snobs. Anyway, I remember I made that dress, that giant Elizabethan concoction of taffeta for myself because I wanted to be the leading lady that night. And clearly yards of bright blue acetate iridescent taffeta was the way to go, or so I thought. Man, being 17 was a trip. But I remember dancing with all of us, and then you took me aside and we walked along the moonlit path. Well, it was probably more lit by fluorescent street lamps than anything else, but in my mind it was moonlit. And you kissed me. It was my first kiss. And I was so confused and happy, and Mom came out to look for me to take me home, and I couldn't come out to her then. I know it's silly. It wasn't like she wouldn't be supportive. We weren't crazy gay bashing Christians, but it was so new to me then, and I couldn't. So I pushed you away, and I said something awful. I've been thinking about it for years, and I've wanted to reach out and say that I'm sorry for hurting you. I've been too scared to do it. So when you reached out to me for this call, I was filled with hope. Like, I didn't know one could feel this full from hope, because I thought maybe you could forgive me, and then maybe I could forgive myself, because I hurt you, and I can't believe that I would have done that to someone who gave me the most magical moment, and I'm sorry. And I realized that was a lie, and I haven't let you talk yet, but thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry, and thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amy. Awesome job. And that's how you can help out Amy. Thank you so much. Beautiful work. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Miss Leah Marie Sessa. Leah Sessa. Hey, Leah. Welcome. Take it away.
Hi. Hi, I am Leah. I am a local South Florida actress as well as a local bartender. And as we all know, these two industries have been severely affected by COVID-19. And within 2 days, I lost both of my jobs, which means all of my income. So today, Theater Lab is personally giving me the opportunity to raise funds for myself, and I am extremely grateful. I will be performing a piece entitled Harnessing the Energy, written by Summer Moore. Many times a day, there are things I'd like to share with you. An excerpt from a book I'm reading, an achievement, a kiss. I think of your hands so often, and I have made it a habit of opening WhatsApp, and when I see you online, I think about sending energy with love, forgiveness, peace from my hand to yours. I visualize harnessing the energy into my palms. I reconstruct the touch of your hands from my memory and the structure of them from a picture that I have set up as background on WhatsApp. I imagine that energy shooting like arrows from me to you. I visualize it going into your left hand because that is supposed to be the hand of receiving, and going up your arms and giving you goosebumps that I used to marvel at. Then I switch it to your right hand because you are naturally left-handed. And the logic is supposed to be to switch it for left-handed people. Trying to make sure I have all the bases covered. As the energy blazes a path up your arm, through your heart and across your chest, down through your other arm, goosebumps all the way. Touching your heart that at times felt so cold to me, but I knew that I could thaw the ice. And I knew how warm it would be if I could. The heat of that energy would warm up my hands and body. All along knowing that I needed to let go. I need to learn to be independent. That my relationship with you was an addiction. And I had become so very dependent on your approval, satisfaction, trust. I gave myself to it in exactly the way I said I would not. I fooled myself into believing I was independent. But my actions made me realize how much I was expecting from you, relied on you, depended on you. I had lost myself again into the needs of others. I'm trying to not be so hard on myself, to accept the forgiveness that I pray for, to dig under the surface to find out what I truly desire and need. I'm finding moments to be proud of my accomplishments, to believe and understand that I created them. Harnessing the same energy that I send into you to heal myself. All of it with the underlying thought, hope. Dream that all along that is what you were trying to get me to recognize and do. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. Really beautiful. Thank you so much. And there's Leah's ID. Take a look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, taking the stage now is Paul Curtis and Miss Angelina Lopez de Catledge. There's the information of the performance dedicated. Go ahead, guys.
Hey everyone, I'm Angelina.
Paul.
We're actors and musicians, and I was getting ready to go into rehearsal for Fefu and Her Friends at Thinking Cap Theater, and it has now been postponed. Today we will be performing a beautiful piece by the actress and writer Nicole Kinsel, and it's named Dancing. Thank you. Fearless, forgetful, frightened. My mother delicately stands 5 feet above earth, often full of colors effervescently floating by. A pioneer of all things living, a delicate caretaker of the greens, a butterfly personified and then twisted into a sunflower. When she breathes with intensity, filling every room with a gentle yet powerful light. Seen, then felt, then heard. A lover of all beings and a healer among creatures. She speaks with a kindness enveloping any unbeliever. Silent as strangers, we dance onto the ocean, floating in a way that only a mother and daughter could. As we dance, her bare naked scalp glistens in the sun. in a way that pleads to her future. My eyes, vacant yet full, no longer look away. Her androgynous image parallels her femininity. And suddenly she seems reborn, no longer imprisoned by the length of her hair, no longer bound by our inhibitions. As we dance, the months became distant memories, evaporating onto the water and rolling into the waves. And as the waves continued to hum, the earth swallowed our tears until the ocean completely devoured the painful memories. As we danced, our bodies released our fears. As we danced, our bodies began to breathe again. And in that moment, everything changed. The dancing lifted, light, lyrical. The sunshine beaming, bellowing, beckoning. The cancer, stagnant, stable, sedated. The dance transcended our minds and engaged our entire bodies. The water carried our hopes and turned them into movement. I kissed her naked head and held her heart in my eyes, slowly releasing the tension and turning the turmoil into trust. And in that moment, in the sunshine, on the water, we were free, effervescently floating by, often with many colors. My mother delicately stands 5 feet above earth, frightened, forgetful, fearless.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you. That's for Nicole Kinzel, who also wrote that piece. Thank you. Please welcome to the stage Miss Lori Tanner. Miss Lori Tanner is up next. Hello, Lori. There's your information. Hold it up there for us all to see. Thank you so much, and take it away, Lori.
Hello, I'm Lori Tanner. I'm a local actor, and like a lot of you, I was in the middle of a show called Miami Motel Stories, and it was canceled prematurely, and a couple of other gigs that I had coming up where I also lost. But thanks to Theater Lab for this opportunity. And I'm going to be reading a monologue or performing a monologue called Hopeful by Jill Slaughter. My divorce attorney was a tall, bloated man. His 20-year law practice included wiping away the tears of the brokenhearted. He probably heard my story dozens, if not hundreds of times, but I was astonished by his advice. Call your husband. Arrange a meeting with him and have sex with him. That way all your troubles will go away and everything will go back to normal. Our normal was unbearable, not something I'd want to resurrect. But then it was my husband who filed for divorce. My baby girl was 9 months old. Her sisters were 2 and 4. Motherhood was the greatest gift of my marriage. Although it seemed like I had everything, a custom-built home, multiple cars, live-in household help. Without my children, it meant nothing. Women often ask me what I did to meet a man like my husband and how they could meet one just like him. Just like him? Maybe they didn't want to be married to a man like that. The man I was married to always told me that nobody liked me. In reality, he didn't. After 12 years of marriage, we got a divorce. We spent years in court arguing as to why the children should live with one or the other. Our daughters began to shuffle between my house and the house he shared with his second wife. We shared joint custody for 7 years, and then he sued and gained sole custody of our daughters. I heard the judge say, "Miss Slaughter, your children will not be coming home with you again." The breath left my body. A blood-curdling scream scorched my mouth. When the verdict came in, I was alone in the courtroom, broke, out of options. I don't remember how I got home. I sat at the dining room table for 3 days and 3 nights. I prayed that my young daughters would somehow adjust to this news that overnight changed all of our lives forever. I hoped that I wouldn't end my own life. The girls grew from children into young women. Years of scheduled phone calls and arranged visits became our normal. Sometimes they answered the phone, often they didn't. Sometimes they all came for a visit. Sometimes one of them was sick or had a birthday party or feigned some excuse so that they could spare themselves the sadness of our ruptured family. The communication in my marriage was sparse. Avoidance and secrecy mapped our domestic lives. Our public persona was very different. We were a cute couple with beautiful children. Perfection was our disguise. I hoped that my children adopt the same pretense to camouflage their wounds. They are now 26, 28, and 30. I never gave up on communicating with each of my girls, rebuilding our parent-child relationship year by year. We rely on each other. We help each other. We do anything for each other. We love each other. As a married couple, my husband and I couldn't create a happy family for ourselves and our children. But I never gave up hoping that somehow things would change. My children and I have chosen to expose our fears and our sorrows. Rising from the ashes of family trauma assures me that hope is not all that will lead the way for them. With everything that life brings, the good and the not so good, I'm certain that each one of my daughters will build lives shaped by more than just hope. My girls are grounded by fire-forged, light-filled love and are shaped by compassion and forgiveness. I asked them to forgive me. Collectively, they said, "You don't need forgiveness, Mom." They are the best gift of my life. We are a happy family.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you so much. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage. Next up, Miss Michelle Diaz. Miss Michelle Diaz, please join us. There she is. Hello, Michelle. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. My name is Michelle Diaz, and I am donating my time to the South Florida Theater League Relief Fund. So you can just go straight to their website and donate there. I am a teaching artist and actress and have also had to put many things on hold, but I'm very happy to donate my time and be in the position to do so to help as many artists as possible. So today I will be doing a monologue called Growing Up by Catherine C. McDonald. Thank you. Hey, I wasn't planning to show up like this. Sorry. I was strolling through Battery Park and listen, please. Please listen. When I was a girl, I played the clarinet. Yes, you know that. Well, I came home one day from practice and I saw Mom, your Grammy, in the kitchen making iced tea, and I threw down my clarinet and started sobbing. And when your Grammy asked me what was wrong, I remember saying that it made me sad that after 6th grade was 7th grade, and after 7th grade was 8th grade, and then after that was high school, and then college. I wanted to stop time. I just wanted to be with my mom in that kitchen drinking iced tea forever. But you never wanted that. You were always ready for the next thing. Getting away from home was your mission, and I never understood why. I mean, I know now, but it hurt. And I started to resent you for it, but I loved you and resented you. But I mainly just love you. Look, I know my moving to the city made it worse. I will stop smothering you. I promise. Last night, I was really missing Mom. I thought about how much you loved her. I thought about how whenever you asked her for anything, she would always say, why not? Can we have nachos for lunch? Why not? You love that. Anyway, I was thinking about your need to move and move, that maybe I could use some of that. Maybe my never wanting things to change isn't really living. I'm feeling a bit stuck. And I thought maybe you could help me with that. I had a dream last night that I was sitting by the lake with Mom, and I could sense that you were there too, but I couldn't see you. I asked her if I should go and find you and see if you'd come back. She turned, and the moon lit up her face, and she said, why not? Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Wonderful work. Thank you so much for supporting South Florida Theater League as well. And welcome to the stage, everybody, Mallory Newbro. Miss Mallory Newbro. Hey, what a great sign, Mallory. All right, take it away.
Hello, my name is Mallory Newbro, and I'm an equity actor down here in South Florida who, like many others, had to say goodbye to like really awesome live shows this season. I had about 4 or 5 projects lined up for the year, that some with companies who I'd never worked with before, who I was totally stoked to work with, and my latest project being Island Song with Measure for Measure Theater Company, who we ended up having to close on the same day that we opened. So it's just unreal. So I'd absolutely love to thank Theater Lab for organizing this event, and to all those out there who are generous enough to donate to some of us struggling artists in need. So thank you so much. And today I am honored to perform a monologue called Soon by Stephen McMahon. Oh, just stop crying, please. Oh, please. Oh, all right. All right. Sorry, sorry. Sorry, I'm sorry, baby. Mommy's just tired. Oh, like you should be right now. Yes, you should be tired too. Yes, you should. Oh, that's right. Oh, baby, don't cry. Oh, what's wrong? Can't sleep? Me neither. Daddy, you miss Daddy. Oh, I miss Daddy too. Oh, Daddy soon, baby. Soon. Daddy soon. Oh, I hope. Do you want to know how I got this watch? Shall I tell you how I got this watch? Okay, I'll tell you, but after this, it's bedtime, little miss, okay? Promise? Pinky promise? Okay, so, my mommy gave me this watch, and her mommy gave it to her, and someday I'll give it to you. Yes, I will, that's right. Oh, but we really had my grandpa to thank. You see, it was his watch first. He bought it with his first ever paycheck. And he was so worried that he would break it, his first ever paycheck with his first ever watch, that when he left the store, he carried it in his hands, holding it firmly but gently. Just firm enough to keep it safe, but gentle enough not to break it. Like a baby bird. Like a baby you. Like how I hold you, and how Daddy holds you. Just firm enough to keep you safe, but gentle enough not to break you. So he carried this watch in his hands, and in his hands, the watch hands ticking like the heartbeat of a baby bird. And he can feel this ticking, this pulsing, this breathing, this vibrating little thing in his hands. And he can't resist but to hold it to his ear, to hear the tick and the tock as the seconds pulse by. And as he did this, and shifts his precarious equilibrium, my grandmother runs into him. My grandmother knocks him off balance. My grandmother sends the watch flying into the air. And in this moment, time stops. Sound stops. Everything stops. And their eyes meet. And in that moment, my grandparents saw each other for the first time. And around them, silence. And above them, the watch suspended in midair. And below the watch, my grandparents, eyes open, mouths open, hearts open. Who is this young woman?
And who is this young man? And why did she run into me? And where did his watch go? And wait, is she laughing? And really, where does his watch go? But oh, her smile. And oh, his eyes. And oh, my watch. And oh, his watch. And the wide look of wonder and curiosity in their eyes becomes a look of panic and fear. And above them, the second hand of the watch ticks. And time restarts in a rush of sound. And the watch, well, the watch falls and breaks. The face is cracked and the hands aren't ticking. And at the same time, they reach for the watch in the dirt on the ground. They butt heads. Sorry, are you? I'm fine. She picks up the watch. The watch, it's fine. Your watch, it's fine. I'm sorry, it's fine. Let me get it fixed. Don't. Why not? What time is it? It's 2:05. 2:05. Yes. Then that's our time. Our time. This is our time. And again, they look deep into each other's eyes, and time seems to stop again, and their hearts seem to stop beating for a moment. And when they start beating again, they beat together in time. Then speed up, then never stop, through births and marriages and deaths, until now. Right now, as I wear this watch on my wrist, forever stuck at 2:05. Wait, do you hear that? Daddy's home. Daddy's here. Oh, and you're asleep. You're sleeping. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mallory. Wonderful job, everybody. There's Mallory's info right there. Thank you so much. All right, welcome to the stage, Miss Anne-Marie Olson, ladies and gentlemen. And, you know, just as I mentioned before, we had submissions come from all around the country. Well, this feed's coming to you live from the great state of Illinois because this is our South Florida Anne-Marie, who had moved away and was getting set to move back. Tell us all about it.
Yes. Hi. Thank you so much, Matt. Thank you, Jill, Cassie, everyone at Theater Lab for hosting this. It's really an honor to be with you, and I can't wait to come back to my South Florida theater family. Tonight, my performance is dedicated to Alexandra Burson. She's a wonderful technician in South Florida, and when COVID-19 hit, she was all set for tech for light in the piazza at Palm Beach Drama Works, and really like to get some help and some money to her, so that's it. Thank you. Oh, sugar. Dang it. Annabelle? Come here. What did I tell you about leaving your crap lying around? And don't you start trying to blame me for this. It was Shaggy Foot. Damn cat will knock over anything that's not nailed down. Now, stop that. This ain't worth crying over. It's just an old flower. Look out that window. You see that gnarly old hickory over there? My grandmother planted that tree when she was about your age. And when I was that same age, she told me a very important story I think you should know. She told me that the day after she planted the sapling, when it was just a little tree growing up, big and strong like you, that they had a big storm whipping up everything into a frenzy, and it took down a telephone pole right on top of that poor sapling. But Nana, that's your great-great-grandmother, she couldn't get the telephone pole off on her own. So she had to leave it there until her daddy finally had a day that he could move it. And when he did, Nana saw that the little tree had stayed bent. It was still alive, still growing, but that bend was part of its shape now, forever embedded in the trunk. And over the years, that tree has had a heaping helping of cuts, scrapes, bends, breaks, and burns. Now you look at it, well, it ain't pretty like a flower, but it's still living, still thriving, even after all these years. And look, this flower of yours, it's a bulb plant. That means that even though the plant has died, its root is still strong. We can take the bulb out back and plant it in the yard, and next year it will grow right back up again. And it will keep coming back up year after year, right in that same spot. What do you say? You wanna go get your hands dirty a little? You go on out in the shed and grab a trowel, sweet pea. I'm right behind you. Sometimes hope is a blossom. Sometimes it's a resilient old warrior. And sometimes it's a bulb hiding deep in the earth like a heartbeat till it's ready to bloom again. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne-Marie. That was wonderful. And as Anne-Marie mentioned, she's raising funds for Lexi Burson, and but you can send them to Anne-Marie and she will get them to her. Also, that piece was called Underground Heartbeats by Kevin Moxley, who is in the MFA program. Please welcome to the stage, Mr. Caleb Scott. Caleb Scott. Caleb, that doesn't look like your name. What's going on? Tell us.
Hi, I'm Caleb Scott, like Matt said. I am reading a story called Brightly by Etan Duray. That's the name you saw on the sheet. And I'm dedicating this performance to raising some money for him. He's an actor and a writer in need. Of course I know, Alex. I've known since you were 5. I'm surprised you waited till you were 18, not until you were in your 20s. Mom knew before I did, but that was obviously going to be the case. Moms know about things before dads know about, I don't know, 95.6% of the time, I guess. Concerned? Yes, but shocked? Definitely not. What? Do I hate you? I never told you about the day you were born, did I? Well, I was in the waiting room, exhausted enough that I fell asleep while your mother was in labor. Yeah. And suddenly the nurse, she shook me awake and she told me that you were finally coming, and I rushed into the room Mom was in. I've never run faster, I think, in my whole life. And even with her screaming, she managed to smile while she held my hand, and she almost broke mine. She gave 3 gigantic pushes, and there you were. The doctor cleaned you up and handed you to Mom, and to call them tears of joy, I guess would be an understatement, but me, I was kind of just in wonder that you were here. I couldn't process it right away. I thought it was funny that for just coming out of your mom's belly, you didn't cry at all. Surprisingly, you were completely silent when she held you. Your eyes were closed, and you just wouldn't open them. Maybe it was a few seconds or a few minutes, but it felt like a year. And I was getting nervous, but I didn't want anyone to be able to tell. And your mom finally asked, "Why isn't he awake yet?" And I looked up above me, and I noticed that the light bulb above your mom's hospital bed was flickering just slightly, and I couldn't figure out why it was flickering. And I just looked right into that chubby cheeked face of yours, and I pleaded, "Come on, Alexander, come on. Open your eyes, please. Open your eyes." And suddenly you did. Your big brown eyes just burst open with all of this wonder and curiosity beaming out of them so brightly. And that's when I looked up and I noticed that the light bulb, it had stopped flickering. And it was shining more brightly than it had ever had before, and shining right down into your face. And you stretched your arms out wide like you were coming in for a hug, and you opened your mouth, and I thought, this is it. He's gonna cry now. And instead, this giant yell, this cheer came out of you. I've never heard anything like it. And no parenting books or columns on fatherhood predicted that ever. And I just knew that you were special. And you know, you've always been that way. And being gay, that's just one of the many things that makes you special. You know, Mom asked me very early on, I think it was after you were born, about a year after you were born. She asked me out of curiosity, what if he likes boys when he grows up? What would you do? And I couldn't answer her right away. It took me a few days. But do you know what I said to her? I said, Shelby, I can't hate him for being what he was born to be. I don't want to ever be that kind of dad. I will never be that dad. So you see, I don't have one loathing bone in my body for you. I mean, I do worry, like every parent, I'm afraid of you getting hurt or somebody breaking your heart and feeling that devastation with you, however long it lasts. But I trust you'll face those challenges head on, and you won't stay hurt, and you'll rise above it. Keep going until that one person finds you and keeps you and sees how perfect you are, just the way I do. You're just like that light bulb, flickering before, but shining brightly now that you've opened your eyes. You're my son, and you're pretty awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Caleb. Wonderful work. Thank you so much. And remember, this was for Eitan, so there's his information right there. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the screen Mr. Steve Carroll. Steve. Hello, Steve. Just hold that up just a little bit more, further back from the screen. There you go, right there. There it is. All right, wonderful. Go ahead, Steve. Take it away.
Thank you, Matt. As you said, I'm Steve Carroll. I was in rehearsals for Singin' in the Rain up at the Alhambra Theater for 2 days when the coronavirus came in and ruined our good time. I also have a one-man show called Charles Lindbergh, the Lone Eagle, that was scheduled for a venue up in South Carolina. That's been shelved indefinitely. So I just wanted to thank Matt and Theater Lab for the opportunity to come here and entertain you guys for a little bit. The piece that I'm going to do is called Moving Pieces, and it's by Ian MacDonald. Let's see. I hope that thing is working. Hey, George! It's me. Hey. The World Series, huh? Huh? We just played the World Series. Something no one could have ever thought possible just one long month ago. I'd never seen anything like it, and I know you haven't. Times Square, deserted, empty, not a soul. I don't know if it's ever been like that before. I lived 91 years. I don't know when it'll ever be like that again. I hope it won't be, but it will. We don't know how or why or when, but you know, one day it will. And that's why I wanted you to have this. See, I don't think I ever got a chance to tell you this story, but see this? That's me. Somewhere in there. Times Square, up on my father's shoulders. Right there in the middle of that crowd, one of the biggest crowds I ever saw. We were watching the World Series. Yeah. Watching it the only way we could back then. I mean, there was no television, no radio. Baseball wasn't on the radio for 2 more years, 1921. So that was us. That was us watching. See, the player pieces, the ball and strike count, all of it was moving up on a big mechanical scoreboard, and updates were coming in over the wire. Real time, live, from over 600 miles away. But being there, in that square, seeing those pieces move up there, hearing that crowd, some for, some against each move, we were all in Cincinnati. We were there, together, at that game, at the World Series. The American League, National League, all of us, but all of us together, you know? That's how it's been. Every year but 2, ever since it started. 1904, what should have been the second World Series, 2 leagues were fighting, so no series. And then 1994, the players and the owners fighting, canceled. But other than that, no matter what, no matter who's fighting, no matter what else, we have played it. Even this year. And sure, it would have been something to see the Yanks win. They lost the series 4 games to 3, but they played. And that's what counts. Look, you know, I know I haven't always said everything I should. But I don't want this moment to pass. And I want you to have this and to never forget Because there may be a time where it seems like there will never be a crowd like this again, ever again. But there will. And if the series is played, you'll know that no matter whatever's happened, we have won. Or at least we're winning. And you know, if it's not played, that's okay. Won't be the first time. But whenever it's played again, and it will be, wherever you are, I want you to slow down. Take it in. The crowd, yeah, the people watching together from hundreds, thousands of miles apart. Remember, you thought that moment would never come, but it did. And it will again. Know that. And know that I will always love you. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Great work. Thank you. And there's Steve's information right there. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the stage, Miss Amy Coker. So we have a little bit of a special circumstance. Diana was supposed to be performing this monologue. I know Amy is very happy to fill in for her. Diana fortunately had some personal family emergencies and wasn't able to be with us. So Amy has volunteered to take over for her.
Yeah, so I am going to be performing this monologue on behalf of Diana, who is an actor and a teaching artist, and she has been, like all of us, financially affected by this and has lost a bit of work. So on her behalf, I will be performing Maybe by Crystal Millie Valdez. I don't know if it's the right thing to do. I mean, maybe. It just doesn't feel right, you know? I mean, you can't just show up after years of me not seeing you. Not today. Sorry, it's just, I'm supposed to think it's one of the most important days of my life, and I can't tell if this is even a part I want to live through. It doesn't seem fair. Look, do you remember the night of the concert? It was in sync, I think. Oh God, I loved them. And it was after the hurricane, and we had been locked up for days. And God, I know all I wanted to do was get out of the house. And I know you did too, because you were a handful of beers in and fighting with Mom until you make her cry. And then, well, you know, came bursting into my room and said, "We're going to this free concert." Drunk, 40 minutes away. I was 10, Dad. You maxed out all of your cards on clothes for me, drank more, almost crashed on the way back, and just, we never made it to the show. You just drove home, and when I got out of the car, you left, just like that, like you were dropping me off at school or something. And I cried in the middle of the street, screaming for you to come back, but like, it's not like you stuck around long enough to know that, so. Here you are. And like, weirdly, I get it. Like, I write on impulse, and it reminds me of you, and it scares me a lot, so much that I don't even know if I'll be able to go through with this today or if I'll just run away, but you really hurt me, you know? Like, I don't even know who you are anymore because you never gave me the chance. Look, you were the last person I expected to see today, but here we are, and I'm looking at your face, and honestly, I've missed you so much, so damn much. And I've needed you, and I don't know. I don't think I'm ready for you to walk me down the aisle, but maybe you can be part of my life again. Like, maybe, if you want to, you know? Thank you. Here's Diana's info.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you so much. Thank you for filling in for Diana. Lovely work. And next up, Miss Stefan Duncan. Welcome, Stefan, to the screen, please. Hello, Stefan. That's great. Thank you. We can see that. Take it away, Stefan.
Turn it up a little bit. Hi, my name is Stefan. I am a local actor down here, South Florida. Just like everyone else too, a couple gigs got canceled. Some got postponed until question mark, I don't know. So I thank you, Theater Lab, for having us all be able to perform and do what we love, even if it's on a little screen. The monologue I'll be performing is called Small Things Are Bright Things by Alexandria Thomas. I thought a lot about this presentation and how I was going to pick the perfect, most accurate quote that represents me. I finally settled and decided on the eyes are the window to the soul. Mainly because it's true. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen my brother's soul. I never spoke to him. This particular Saturday morning, I got up early with my mom and I watched her make coffee in her purple fluffy robe. I always thought she looked like a fancy mom in the magazines. Then I helped her get my brother up, James. Even though he was already up and about, clanging with his toys, anyhow, he was young, but growing to be a big boy. And we loved the challenge, calling him our big grizzly. His favorite Disney show, That's So Raven, nightly playing on the TV. He rushes in, clapping and jumping and jumping. James! James! James Morlett, get your butt over here. He knew he heard me, but there was something about his full name that could get his head to snap. We couldn't watch our shows till breakfast was over. And man, this was the most frustrating part for me every morning. He was still learning how to use a fork and spoon, so my mother and I would take turns, scooping our hands around his and guiding his spoon to dip it in the cereal and balance it up to his mouth. The balance was never there, so whether we had eggs or fruits or cereal, there was always a big mess for me to clean up. That's what life with an autistic sibling feels like sometimes. Like, there's always a mess to clean up. Mealtime growing up taught me patience. Yeah, a whole lot of patience. James is watching a show and I mopped up his spilled milk and crumbled granola while my waffles sit and get cold. Yeah, it's funny how the smallest things that we do are sometimes the brightest things about us. Like how James will try so hard to say pizza, but he always ends up saying it's pizza. But he'll repeat it 1,000 times over until he's understood or satisfied. That kind of determination can move mountains. And that's exactly what the kind of thing I heard that when I saw in James' eyes, when I joined him on the couch after breakfast, wrapped my arms around him. I looked him deep in the eyes and said, I love you, little brother. I am your sister, and I love you with my whole heart. He just stared back at me for what seemed like hours. Both of us trapped in silence, studying the other. Even though he didn't have the words or he didn't know what he's going to say back, his eyes, his soul told me everything I needed to know. They showed gleaming stars, a heart full of love and dedication to live like no other. From that moment on, I make an effort to tell him stories and jokes and about my homework. Mostly I tell him that I love him and that I cry oceans for him, for the opportunities I'll never have, for the conversations I long for but I'll never get, for the brother I never truly know. But when I cry, I look at him and see his soothing soul once again. I never knew what to call that calming feeling when I was younger. But now I know that that feeling he gives me is hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Stefan. Really lovely work. Thank you so much. And there's Stefan's information. Let's take a look. Thank you so much. Next up, welcome to the stage, Mr. Mark Hernandez. Mark Hernandez. Thank you. There's his info. Take it away, Mark.
Hello. Thank you, Matt. Thank you to everyone at Theater Lab for doing this for everyone. This is amazing to see. My name is Mark Hernandez. I'm a local actor from South Florida. I was getting ready to open a production of Barefoot in the Park on March 12th. And as of right now, we are postponed until the fall. Hopefully we do still get to go up and mount that. But today I am super, super excited to perform a piece titled Super People by a good friend of mine, the incredible Randall Swinton. Whoa, whoa, little bro. Try to calm down. I know it's scary. I'm scared too. Look, when things are hard, try using little sparks of inspiration to try to keep you calm and motivated. We all need something to try to help us find peace with all the crazy noise in this world. I mean, some people, they turn to prayer, meditation, even music. You want to know what my greatest inspiration was when I was your age? It's a bird! It's a plane! No, it's the man of tomorrow. The man of steel, it's Superman. Oh man, did you know that the S on his chest doesn't just stand for Superman? It's a symbol from his family, from his home of Krypton. Man, think about it, bro. Just think about it. To be in so much danger, to have all of the odds stacked against you, to be in the pits of despair, and then this symbol of hope comes swooping down from the sky to rescue you in his big blue strong arms. I can't count how many times I've wished I was in one of those comic books instead of here in the real world, where your troubles aren't just the length of a page, where the situations that you and your loved ones are in aren't highlighted in bright colors or illustrations, where there is no man in blue who's going to swoop down from the sky and rescue you from this nightmare, or bring back any of the people you've already lost. It's hard to get out of that headspace. Trust me, I know. But what if I stopped looking to the sky above for this symbol to swoop down? What if I saw a school that opened its closed doors to give meals to kids who can't afford meals at home? What if I saw a nurse who was brave enough to go into work and fight for the health of others, regardless of the risk that she's giving herself or to her family back at home? What if I saw individuals quarantine, singing on the balconies and unifying through a connective song? What if a group of artists organized together to inspire anyone who might be feeling nervous or anxious or depressed during this massive time of fear and uncertainty? Well, then maybe, I don't know, maybe we don't need some symbol from the sky to swoop in and save us. Maybe there are symbols of hope all around us. Maybe we can save ourselves. Maybe we can save each other. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for watching.
Mark. Great work. Awesome job. Thank you so much. And welcome to the stage, please, Mr. Ernesto Gonzalez. Ernesto. And he is holding up the artist to whom he is dedicating his time. Ernesto, take it away.
Thanks, Matt. So just like anyone else in this stream, I have been affected greatly by what's going on right now. I had 3 gigs lined up. We had already started tech for the Camelot at Actors Playhouse, and unfortunately that will be postponed for now. So I will be doing this performance to raise funds for Mr. Clay Cartland, and I will be doing a piece by Mr. Clay Cartland titled Job Interview. Okay, so good morning, or afternoon, evening, sorry, wow. Good evening, everyone. My name's Joel, and I'm this, wow. This place is big. Like, you hear stories, but yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense when you gotta swoosh off to wherever the big red phone goes off. Actually, funny story. I used to think that Superman just heard everything on Earth and would just send people to where they were needed. It makes sense though, since, you know, not everyone, unless, do you have super hearing, Ms. Wonder? Sorry, is it just Wonder Woman? It's probably just Wonder Woman, isn't it? Sorry, my mother always told me to be super polite. Get it? Because you're all super. Not that you have to be super at all, sir, to be a hero. I was just trying to make a joke, sir. Please don't batarang me to the face. Swear to me! Do you guys ever rag on each other on your movies? Because I would love to take part in those conversations should I become a member. Particularly that Joel Schumacher fiasco that, oh, sorry, I'm rambling. Super awkward. Okay, so the reason that I begged you guys to give me an interview, which BT Dubs, thank you so much for putting the application portal on the website. I really didn't think it would be that easy, but yeah, here we are. Anyway, things are a real mess down there. I mean, I know you know, I just want to give you a firsthand account. People are scared, and they need a hero more than ever. And there don't seem to be enough. And I say that with the utmost respect because I know how hard you guys work. I just, powers, right? My powers. That would be where we'd be going, wouldn't it? Politeness, Avi. Awkwardness. Courage. I can see really well in the dark, like almost too good. Oh, and I can drink and keep down a whole gallon of milk in an hour. So I could get like a cat theme. Probably not, though. I'm sure the Watchtower is littered with cat people. Get it? Super puns. I also have a wonderful memory. I could quote any of your movies backwards. Where is she? Don't worry, miss. I've got you. Hera, give me strength. Pew, pew, pew. Okay. I may or may not have lied about having powers on the horn. To be fair, though, I did fill in other, so wasn't technically lying. Look, I may not be able to shoot, you know, eye lasers or have a magical lasso, but I can still help people. And that's all I want to do. I mean, you, of all people, should know what I'm talking about, Mr. Wayne. Oh, Batman! Oh, no, you know what? I'm not sorry. Everybody knows, man. Just turn into the skid. You want to know why I can quote your movies backwards? A few months ago, I was subletting a dirty bedroom in a friend's townhouse, sleeping on a mattress that someone else threw out. On my Batman bed sheets. And I wasn't working. I never went out. Basically, just spent the days rewatching your movies and eating pineapple tidbits out of the can. I kept seeing you guys on the news and wondering when you were gonna come help me. Because God knows I was asking. One day, the guy downstairs, who I had said no more than like 10 words to, knocks on my door and offers me mac and cheese. Not even to be nice, he just cooked too much. So I went downstairs and ate mac and cheese and we watched Good Eats with Alan Brown together. It's so dumb, but in that moment, right in that moment, I realized that I'm not alone. Even when I chose to be, that someone out there does care. Something as small as a bowl of Easy Mac got me going outside again and finding a job. And I've already been on 2 dates with the cashier from Barnes and Nobles. My point is, at the end of the day, I didn't need a cape to swoop in and solve my problems. I just needed someone to sit with me and eat mac and cheese. I am Joel, able to sit with anyone who needs me, offer them a bowl of mac and cheese whenever they need it, and make them feel like they're not alone. Because no one truly is. So, thanks for listening, and I'll let you 3 talk it out. Oh, and you've all been super. I'll see myself now.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Ernesto. Wonderful job. Show us that sign one more time. Thank you, Ernesto. Awesome. Please welcome to the stage, Miss Laura Hodis. Laura Hodis. Hello, Laura. Yes. Welcome.
Hi.
Take it over.
Excellent. Hi, I'm Laura, and I opened and closed. We've had a full Carrie the Musical on Urinetown at Pipitopa. So we opened and closed on the same day. And then my next contract, Henry V at Orlando Shakes, got canceled. And then the next 2 contracts got canceled. And then both of my day jobs have closed indefinitely. So it's an exciting time. And I'm so grateful to have had this to look forward to. So thank you, Theater Lab. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Today I am performing for Meredith Bartman, who just happens to also be a wonderful actor, a wonderful dramaturg, and also the author of Candles, which is the monologue I'll be performing. Happy birthday to you. Oh. Okay, now blow out the candles. Candle, blow out the candle. Come on, make a wish. You're 16, sweet 16. It's a big deal. I know you wanted your friends to be here, but I am doing the best that I can. Wait, listen. I know this isn't how you pictured this, but you need to make a wish. You never know what magic is waiting around the corner, right? No? Listen. Can I tell you a story? Please? Oh. Did I ever tell you about the first time I was alone on the holidays? It was when I was living in London and your grandparents were here in Florida. As December wore on, I'd been looking in every shop for menorah candles, but apparently there are no Jews in England because I couldn't find them anywhere. You know, like the big, tall menorah candles that burn for a while. I felt like if I wasn't able to light the candles, it'd somehow mean I was alone with no holiday cheer. As the sun set on the first night of Hanukkah, I made one last-ditch effort and asked the clerk at a Morrison's grocery if they sold any candles that could fit into a menorah. What's a menorah, then? Anyway, I got a cart and I started loading it with comfort food. As I walked through the cookie and cake aisle, I came across packets of birthday candles. They were so small and dinky and stupid, pink and white stripes running up them like something out of a gender stereotyped carnival. I kind of hated them. I wished I had anything else to go in the menorah, but I trudged slowly back up this very, very steep hill from the grocery to my flat with my sad, tiny birthday candles in a bag. And I missed home for the very first time. I missed my friends. I missed being comfortable. I mean, don't get me wrong, London was amazing, my soul city, but on this night, different from all other nights, I felt like a new Jew was very much so a blue Jew. So I was trudging to the top of this hill and turning the corner onto my block when I noticed a family walking toward me. How odd, right? Totally dark out and freezing cold. I had this fleeting thought of trick or treat and Halloween. And then it hit me. They were dressed up. They all had dark curly hair. Were the men wearing yarmulkes? I looked at this building behind me. I must have walked past it 100 times before. How had I never noticed the plaque on the front of the door? It was in the shape of a giant menorah. I had found the Jews. I hesitated a moment with my grocery bags full of snacks and my messy hair that I hadn't washed in 3 days. Don't judge me, it was grad school. And then slowly approached the synagogue. I crossed the threshold and shyly said to the guard, "Please, sir, could you tell me where I could buy menorah candles?" He pointed over my shoulder. I turned as if in slow motion, and there, just behind the door, was a huge cabinet filled with boxes and boxes of proper menorah candles. It was a Hanukkah miracle. So the rabbi's wife ended up inviting me to stay for dinner. My plate was filled with sausage rolls and donuts and, oh, big, fat, greasy latkes. And then the rabbi's wife gifted me a box of those perfect candles, which I had totally given up on an hour earlier. So I know. Right now, it feels like you are trudging up that steep, cold, endless hill. Hair unwashed, stupid, dinky birthday candles. Feeling alone in an unfamiliar world, far away from your friends. But sometimes, through the darkness, when you least expect it, you'll find your people holding out a lit candle. Thank you so
Laura.
much.
Thank you. Great job. There's Meredith's information. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Miss Rachel Chin to the stage. Miss Rachel Chin. Rachel, take it away.
Hi, everybody. My name is Rachel Chin, and I want to thank Matt and the teams of Theater Lab for doing this. We must support our artists during this crisis. And my performance, I'm dedicating this, and I'm donating my time, and I hope you do some contributing to my teacher, Anna Panaro, who's on Panaro Theater Workshop and Dramatic Arts. So I'm reading and performing a monologue, Hope to Remember by Michael Goya. So, Anna, I love you. This is for you. Oh, don't worry. Don't worry about me. Oh, your butthead. Oh, there's nothing to worry about here. Oh, no, shh. Just shut it now. It don't matter if I don't have any dreams no more. Hopes and dreams and hopes. There was a time when I dreamed. Yeah, that's right. Me. Little me laying on the lawn looking up in the sky. Just dreaming about things. And a lot of things. I went out and did them. All right? And a lot of them I really never wanted to do. Like dreaming about getting rich and buying every single kind of candy in the drugstore. Nope. I never really wanted to do. Or jumping out of a plane. No. Didn't want to do that. And still I have hope. So what makes you think I don't? I hope I can remember all the things that I've done. I have a mind full of wonderful memories. People and places and adventures, surprises, winnings and losses, bumps and bruises, falling down and getting back up. I lived it. I think about that. And I want to keep it all forever. Up here and in here. That's my hope. Hope is God, baby boy. So, here's some news. There's going to be a time when your memories will outnumber your dreams. And that's okay because you're doing them. So, shush. I don't want to hear any more of your worries. I'm gonna get the mail.
Thank you, Rachel. Hold up that time one more time. Thank you so much. And please, let's welcome to the stage, Miss Debbie Richardson. Debbie Richardson. There you see it for Crystal Millie Valdez. Take it over, Debbie.
Hi, I'm Debbie Richardson. I am hoping to help get some donations for Crystal Millie Valdez. I was about to go into tech for a little night music. I'm the wardrobe supervisor at Zoetic Stage. Obviously that didn't happen, and our next show is still up for grabs. But it's an exciting time. So I am performing Ada by Laura Hodis. You know that fizzy feeling you get when you're immersed in a new project? That sense that nothing can stop me because I am invincible. The pop and joy, it overflows your heart, you know, when you're challenged and you're like, I am meeting that challenge. Yes! I'd lost that. Last Friday, my show opened and closed on the same day, and it was a real bucket lister over before it began. And then my next bunch of contracts canceled. I still want to cry. I want sympathy. I want things to change right now. I have always tried to see the sunny side. So I wanted to share some positivity, my small light in the darkness. Facebook has been my outlet, and if I can bring someone a smile, hey, go me. But suddenly I had nothing to say, and the week wore by, and then it was Friday again. And in my corner of the world, Fridays are all caps Friday. My friend Erin started it. It's where we can shout out into the universe whatever's on our mind. Well, it was Friday. What could I say? What could I shout that would be positive and bring people joy? Let's face it, everything was feeling pretty brutal and I didn't have any joy to share. So I posted what I was doing, which was cooking. I don't cook. I bake. I love to bake, but cooking? I've set my oven on fire making bacon. I set it on fire making mac and cheese. I once set a dishcloth on fire, just once. So anyway, cooking, not so much. But I wanted to post something to bring a little normal back into my world, even if I was shouting into the social media wind. So I posted, I'm cooking, heaven help us all. And 242 people had things they wanted to shout about. Now, some were hilarious, some were heartbreaking, and some were from folks who didn't even realize that it was Friday, because that's how this week has been. As I was going through replying to all of my friends, I felt lifted. I felt connected. There was shared pain, shared happiness, because we needed each other, even if just to say, I ate a tuna sandwich. So I guess my little corner can hold tears and smiles. And like the kitten on the tree branch in that famous poster, I can hang in there, baby, because Friday's coming. Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. Wonderful job. And now let's welcome to the stage Miss Jessica Farr. Jessica Farr. Hey, Jess, take it over.
Hi, guys. I'm Jessica Farr. I'll be reading Hungry by Caleb Scott, directed by Ricky J. Martinez. I was hungry. I guess everybody is these days, but honestly, I haven't seen anybody in quite a while. Not even Desi and Richard. Not even out on their balconies. Not for a while. Desi likes to sunbathe, sometimes with a book she never seems to be reading. It's got a clock tower on the cover, Big Ben, I think, under a full moon with birds or bats flying across it. Richard fixes guitars. At least that's what I think he's doing, stringing and unstringing. He never seems to strum more than one chord at a time. Maybe tuning them, that's what he's doing. Maybe the light on the balcony is good for that, but I don't really see how. They haven't been out there lately, though. Maybe Richard's guitars are finally all in perfect tune, so there's no need to keep restringing them. Maybe Desi's finished her book, the one with Big Ben and the flying bats on the cover. Maybe. Who knows? I decided to go to the grill instead of the shop. I couldn't stand the prospect of waiting in line all afternoon only to come home with a sack of onions and nothing else. Nobody goes to the grill anymore on account of that video somebody posted of them reusing their old cooking oil. I don't even know that oil could go bad, but apparently consuming rancid oil can cause cell damage and eventually lead to some very unpleasant chronic diseases. I guess it takes a lot of rancid oil in your system to cause any real damage, though. And it's hard to tell if that video of the oil had really gone bad. You can't believe everything you see online, I guess. Everything gives you cancer, according to somebody. Ron was behind the counter at the grill, as usual. I don't think I've ever seen anybody else behind the counter at the grill, like ever. I noticed his tip jar was empty. It's not really a jar. It's like the bottom half of a plastic water bottle that somebody wrote tips for grad school on with a magic marker. Ron never seemed like the kind of guy who would be planning on going back to school, but I still felt bad that his tip jar was empty. I jingled the keys in my pocket as if searching for change, even though I knew there was nothing in there. Nobody uses cash anymore. Ron was in a good mood, considering. He said I looked fit, like I've been working out. I laughed because I never work out, and I didn't know what to say. Ron laughed too. I ordered the broiled brisket sandwich with cheese. Ron said no brisket, so I just ordered cheese. He said no cheese too and asked if I wanted my bun grilled. I remembered the rancid oil and I wanted to ask him about it and set the record straight, but instead I just said no thank you, and I took the bun plain. It was bright outside. The yellow light of late afternoon cut through the branches of a gumbo limbo tree, the dust in the air sparkling like snowflakes. I leaned against the trunk to unwrap my no brisket sandwich with no cheese. The birds above me grew loud, chirping like tiny car alarms, hopping from branch to branch. They sound desperate, I remember thinking. And I looked across the swath of sidewalk through the chain link fence where bulldozers were tirelessly ripping trenches into the earth where pipes and wires and concrete slabs would eventually go. Where kitchens and living rooms and personal gyms would eventually go. Where people like me would eventually go. I broke off the top of my sandwich and I laid it down at the roots of the tree. And as the birds in a mad rush descended, pecking at the bread in a cloud of flittering wings, I hoped maybe it would be enough to get them through till tomorrow. And their singing might continue, though they'd be a little less desperate. Thank you.
Thank you, Jess. Wonderful job. Beautiful work. Thank you so much. There she is. So take a look and help her out. Next up to the stage, Mr. Tommy Paduano. Can I see Mr. Tommy Paduano? Hey, Tommy, take it over, man.
Hi, everybody. It's Tommy Paduano. I'm a actor here in South Florida. I was really looking forward to going to Colorado in a couple of weeks and doing 4 very, very wonderful musicals that I really would have enjoyed all the way through September. But due to coronavirus and the whole pandemic, all of that's been shut down and taken away. But thank you, Matt, and thank you, Theater Lab team, for giving all the artists here this opportunity. I'm going to be performing a piece called Unremarkably Remarkable by the fabulous Nicole Perry. Some people love cooking. Not me. I hate cooking. I know everybody needs to eat, But that doesn't mean I need to cook it. I do, however, love to bake. And baking and cooking are very different things. Cooking can be flashy, improvisational, not baking. What I love about baking is the predictability of it. Honestly, how great is it to have something in life you can be certain of? The precision and the orderliness of it is so reassuring. Look at the recipe, measure carefully, mix thoroughly, set a timer, get a loaf of zucchini bread. You follow the steps exactly, and you get exactly what you expect. It's incredibly, beautifully unremarkable. Because of this, baking has always been my coping mechanism. When I feel my world spinning out of control, I bake. And yet, even though I bake to deal with my inner turmoil, I don't stay in that mindset very long. I'm quickly reminded that baking is all about community. I love chocolate chip cookies, but no one needs 4 dozen cookies all to themselves. When I bake, I think of the people that I will be sharing this treat with. Baking reminds me that even if life is a bit crap right now, I have some really good people in my life. And I think about how we will be sharing not just the same food, but celebrating the same moment. In that way, baking is actually quite remarkable. It's an observance of togetherness. The holiday cookies, birthday cakes, the incredible smell of fresh baked bread. It just seems to make anyone and everyone feel instantly at home, at ease. It's a reminder that even if life isn't pleasurable right now, to just do the mundane tasks, because eventually we'll celebrate together. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Tommy. And there's his info right there. So help him out. Next up is our Director of Education, Miss Jill Carr. Can I have Jill Carr to the screen? Jill has, at the very last moment, stepped up and volunteered. Our friend Daniel Yaka was supposed to perform today, but had some family emergencies. And so Jill has taken over his monologue for him and will be sharing this story. Go ahead, Jill, take it away.
I will be performing Love and the Like by Kathleen Holmes. Oh, you. If it were only love, a simple jalapeno sweat, or an alizarin crimson rapture. But that gardenia word, love, it can't do justice to your hot bath voice on my answering machine, or the Aretha Franklin sight of you laughing across an overcooked room full of pudding people. How could a single syllable hope to honor your sweet tea yawn and your bass beat kisses? The mashed potato sound of your keys in the door and your Cabernet footsteps up the stairs. For your chocolate-covered raisin memory, love will not do. Truer word. One that aptly sings of your flannel pajama size, your Shostakovich snore, and your chili dog embrace. That word must have 1,000 syllables. Sound like companion. It would taste for all the world like a big plate of something fried. Thank you.
Thank you, Jill. Fantastic job. Remember, that was for Daniel Yaka, so you can support him right there. Can I welcome to the stage, please, Miss Sabrina Lynn Gore. Sabrina. And there you see who Sabrina is here dedicating her performance for. Take it away, Sabrina.
Hi guys, as Matt said, I am Sabrina Lidgore. I'm a local South Florida theater artist. I lost 4 contracts through the closure of theaters, one still pending. And one of them was for Damian Matherson, who I am sponsoring, who was going to do Pippin, who had 2 shows that he had to cancel this season. So I'm dedicating this to him as another artist in this community who needs some help. And I'm doing a beautiful monologue written by the incomparable Gretchen Faro. It's just called an original monologue. You might have been in my dream last night, you know. At least I thought it was you. I hope it was you. We got interrupted, which sucks. So I may never know, which is going to drive me crazy. You know when you are right in that best moment of a dream and then you lose it and it's just gone? Damn. I had to pee at like 4 a.m. and I desperately tried to get right back to that moment where I thought I saw you. You were walking down a hallway and the hallway was dark and there was this red glow and all I could see was your shadow, but the shadow had your walk, your energy, your sway, and that energy was coming right towards me. And just at that moment when I was about to see your face or hear your laugh or feel your arms around me, poof. I mean, it had to be you. I don't know, maybe. I was so excited because you promised, you know? I'm sure that's why I had to pee. You know, me, every time I get excited, I gotta pee. Every time when I was little, I would get into my hiding spot for hide and seek, and I was so excited I would pee myself every damn time. It caused a rash on my thighs, so I stopped playing, and which sucked because it was my favorite. That same thing goes for the ice cream truck. Man, how I loved that ice cream truck. I would hear that music from wherever I was, and I would get so excited, I would just pee right then and there. Oh, what a mess. I tried to find you in my sleep right away. I looked hard. I walked down that hallway. I was scared, but I did it. The light was still red, and I remember it feeling cold. I tiptoed to the very end, but you were gone. I so hope it was you. It's been 1,990 sleeps, and I have been looking for you every night. Two weeks ago, I went to bed reading about this terrible sadness in Italy. It's real, and it's really bad. A friend sent me an article about what was happening in real time. I was paralyzed with fear. I couldn't move. It was deep. I turned on my side and I looked at my fiance face to face and just said, it's the, I really want my mom type fear. And I started to cry. So maybe tonight.
Thank you, Sabrina. Thank you so much. Beautiful work. And now, welcome to the screen, direct from my dining room, actually, is the talented Miss Nikki Freed. Miss Nikki Freed. You can see who she's dedicating her performance to right there. Take it away, Nikki.
Hi, everyone. So happy to be here with you. Matt and I, like so many others, have lost contracts and have to postpone shows. And we have a very dear friend, Johnny Arena, who was Matt's childhood friend since he was like 8 years old. And he grew up in Miami with Matt, and he currently is living in Chicago. He's a member of House Theater, and he's also the manager of a restaurant, but both of those things have stopped. So I am dedicating this performance to him. This is a story that was written by my dear mother, Christy Freed, and I am going to do my best to bring it to life for you. Those were the days when I would escape into my backyard with my dad's olive green, itchy wool army blankets, tying and pinning them to the blue, red, and white swing set, forming the perfect tent for myself and my equally adventurous best friend, Karen. We would make a drinkable syrup from the purple clematis vine which climbed the garage trellis. We'd fight off imaginary invaders by shooting arrows with our bows. No dolls for us. I remember the Sundays too. My family would escape to Rock Cut, the local state park. I was 7 then, the lucky firstborn, my little sister Kim 5. I would lead her bravely down the park path, ready for a jump over a branch or to help her navigate the rocks in our way, always on the lookout for the adorable chipmunks. So of course, on that fateful day, I was the first one to see the snake. It was lying there warming itself in the sun. Kim double dared me to pick it up. So of course, that's exactly what I did. I made sure to be safe, grabbing it by the tail, the furthest point from the mouth. Almost instantly, that snake rose up to sink its sharp, pointy teeth into my finger. My sister's eyes were as large as the lake. The snake clung to me. Blood began dripping down my hand as I tried to shake it off, screaming and running down the hill to my parents. My mother wrapped a napkin around my finger. My dad, he asked the questions. What was the shape of its head? Pointed? What color? Yellow stripes with green and black? How long was it? I couldn't be sure. The size grew as I ran. Maybe the size of a ruler? I was afraid I would be in so much trouble and he would be so mad. But no, he was quiet and calm. He and my mother began picking up the Kool-Aid, the chips, the dip, the brownies, and lastly, the little red and white checkered tablecloth. Are we going to the hospital? No, it's probably too late for that. Just home, he said. The ride back was quieter than quiet. My parents didn't even turn on the radio. My little sister kept playing with her acorns, not caring about the 4 bloody red tooth marks on my tiny finger. It was 5:30 when we pulled in the drive at 3212 Thelma Street. My dad took me in the house. He washed and dried my finger, put on that orangey red mercurochrome and bandaged it up. Then, holding each of my shoulders firmly, he said, "Picking up snakes, or any wild creature for that matter, is not brave or wise." Then came the most terrible news. My dad, who knew everything, wasn't really sure if that snake was poisonous or not. He didn't know. Calmly, he said, "You should have your favorite meal, just in case it's your last." Sobs caught up to each other in my throat. "Crab, mac, and cheese, please." My mother put it on the stove. 10 minutes until ready. Would I make it? My all-knowing father suggests I try to comfort myself in these final moments by watching my favorite television program. Tears rolled down my cheeks. Lassie was my favorite, and it would be on in just minutes. It may be the last time I would ever see Lassie. So there I sat on the carpet, 6 feet away from the television with my big bowl. My little sister, my mother who knew how to make the best Kraft mac and cheese, and my wise father sat on the Davenport behind me. Tears filled my eyes. Trumpet sounds from the black and white television screen. It began the same way it had every week before. The image of the earth slowly turning. I would always look for America, and then came that sweet whistling. Suddenly, there she was. There was Lassie beside the lake, Timmy calling, "Lassie, Lassie, my canine hero, jumping over the fence. Oh, how I wished in that moment she would save me." There was June Lockhart and Hugh Riley and John Provost as Timmy, but none of them compared to the star of the show. I turned so slowly to look at my dad. He looked sad and serious, and with a solemn voice said, "You should eat, and you should watch, at least while you can." I watched. I ate, breathing, watching, eating, watching, breathing, eating. Lassie, like always, had saved the day. Tears. I wish I could have a dog just like her. A trembling lip. A big sigh. The show and my bowl of mac and cheese had come to an end. Surely I would be next. I am more terrified than I ever had been. My heart pounds. I'm afraid to turn around. I'm afraid not to. Then, oh, so slowly, my dad comes up behind me, touches my shoulder, and calmly whispers, "You made it all the way to the end of Lassie." He smiles a little smile and confidently says, "It looks like you're going to make it after all." I look back on that now and know what a gift my father was. There are two lessons that day. Fear is defeated through hope and humor. And don't pick up wild creatures. That was it. And that's Grandpa.
Thank you, Nikki. Show us one more time. You were here for Johnny, so help Johnny out, my buddy. Thank you so much. Can I welcome to the stage Mr. Eitan Duray? Eitan, very much. Thank you for being here. Take it away.
Hello. Hi. I'm Eitan Duray, and I am an actor, singer, and playwright. And I was getting ready to go into rehearsals for Rock Odyssey in Miami, March 30th, and COVID-19 postponed that. And I also had a cabaret gig on top of that got canceled. And I also work part-time as a restaurant host at Applebee's, and they laid me off indefinitely. So thank you to Theater Lab for this wonderful opportunity to raise funds for these incredible artists during this difficult time, and whatever you can give will be appreciated. So the monologue I'm gonna do is called Just Talkin' Hope, and it's by Andrea O'Connell. While I'm guilty of throwing the word hope around like rice at a wedding, it lives in me. It's in the pit of my stomach, the lump in my throat, in the space behind my eyes, and in that sweet little tickle the brain makes. I'm throwing my rice out to all of you, to the many lovely friends in my life. I am nothing without you. I'm grateful for the healing power of friendship. I'm grateful for rising above the sorrow, too, because rising above it is like creating an inner piece of art. Something from nothing, how it flows up and out from that messy mushball spot where pain is, where I wish pain used to be. Anyway, I hope you're hanging in there and not feeling as on the cusp of crazy as I am. I hope you're getting good rest, good cleaning time, enough reading time, and that every time you think of it, I hope you wash your hands. I hope you're able to turn off the news, but stay informed. I hope you keep creating things, writing, cooking, streaming, or photographing with your phone, anything that flattens your personal curve and brings you joy. I hope you have plenty of good books, more to read in a lifetime. I hope your Prime, Netflix, and Hulu subscriptions are all paid up. I hope you'll consider walking 6 feet apart in a park with someone and still feel close. I hope you'll grab a lounge chair and fall asleep outside in the soft sunshine, and I hope the bugs and mosquitoes let you rest and never so much as notice your sweetness. I hope you'll remember that everything in the universe is made of unseen grace and is a balancing act, and time is likely an illusion, and therefore not something to endure, but accept as if grace and time were synonymous. We move at warp speeds, and all of this, is temporary. I hope you realize that we are all afraid right now. You're not alone in that. I hope you know it's okay to feel fear, but I hope you'll remember that hope and hand washing generally eases fear. I hope you'll always remember that it's love that will flatten this curve. And if nothing else, I hope you remember that the distance between us is really only about love. Thank you.
Thank you, Eitan. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is all of our monologues and stories. So I just want to say again, thank you so much. We thought this idea up last Sunday, and it's been an incredible week of work. There are a lot of people that poured themselves into this, and while things didn't go exactly as planned, it was still just really incredibly beautiful this entire week to see all of you guys come together like this. So thank you for doing that, and thank you for giving of yourselves. There are some people who didn't get mentioned tonight, so you heard all the writers, and they came from all around the state and the country. Also, there were amazing people who volunteered to help direct these pieces, so thank you to Michael Ursua, Stuart Meltzer, Patrick Fitzwater, Gretchen Porro, Amy Coker, Beverly Blanchett, Andy Rogo, Ricky J. Martinez, Andy Arthur, Marjorie Lowe, David A. Highland, Robert Fritz, Nicole Perry, Damian J. Matherson, Elizabeth Price, Margaret Ledford, Tim Mark Davis, who I must have called 1,800 times, Carol Cassie, the South Florida Theater League, everybody who's just done everything they could to help us put this together. And I would be remiss if I did not thank Cassie Chris and Joanna Orego and Michael McLean and Jill Carr and Lou Tyrrell and everybody at Theater Lab and FAU who just said, go, we can do it, let's make it happen. You guys are beautiful and amazing. And with that, Cassie, give us the curtain call shot. We get everybody on screen. We hope, we don't know, maybe. All right, here we go. Whoa! And right now we're gonna take you out with a little music. So these are my good friends here from Paul and Angie. They have a band called Ola High, and they're gonna play us out from tonight's show with a little song. Take it away, guys.
Scattered and winding roads, we roam, far away from home, searching the unknown. We love, laugh and cry out loud, like gives and takes a break. Far away from home, search of the unknown. We carry lullabies of days unknown. Oh, oh, oh. We look to the skies with tears in our eyes. And oh, oh, oh. Behind your gilded wings, we lay in bed to read. Who is in control? You are. We carry lullabies of days undergoing. Oh, oh, oh. We look to the convinced that all is well. Strangers to our feet, and let's dance again. We carry lullabies of days unknown. We look to the skies with tears in our eyes and we carry lullabies of days unknown. We look to the skies with tears in our eyes and searching for that causes us to roam, restless and alone, when all we need is home.
Thank you guys so much, and thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody who watched. Thank you to everybody who gave. South Florida Theater League Relief Fund, all these amazing artists. Thank you for just giving us a little hope and making us know that we can come together even when we got to stay apart. You guys rock, and we will be back very soon in the space together. There is more to come from all of us. Love you. See you all soon at the lab.